What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I got to have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, friends and family? I see y'all in the building. Good morning. It is Monday, March 23rd, 2026, year of our Lord. What's happening, everybody in the building? I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let me see what's happening with the audience. Walk on wood. I see you, your car in the building. Jordan, shout out to Jordan, 410 Jordan. Naomi, I see you. Lil Rock. It was a great weekend for Michigan college basketball. That is a fact. That is absolutely a fact. Shout out to Go Blue, Michigan State. Both of them was killing it. Kel G, I see you. Beans and Greens, good morning. Next phases, the special man, Jesse Xavier. QB, what up, though? Vito Royale, I see you. Let me see what else is going on out here. Curtis Taylor. Jason 18, Don the Architect, Legitimately Crooked, John Teal, Mr. 43 Tex or TX, Robert Dalton, I see you, Robert. Thank you for tapping in. A Dunn, what's going on? NY Claw Lady, good morning, good morning, good morning. Gustav, I see you. I appreciate you. William Jacino. My dog, Cutie Executive MLE, what's going on? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Bad Habits, Trees, I see you. Curtis Taylor says, musical motivation, Bryson Tiller, money problems, hashtag or slash Ben's truck. Honestly, I've been on that Ross, French Montana, and Max B. That Minx in Miami. That's what I've been listening to. Throwback to Master Ace, sampled from Master Ace back on the Sitting on Chrome album. So I've been listening to that and been getting it popping. And we've been rocking, man. They said thank you for a great stock club last Saturday. Yeah, it was lit. It was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. So if y'all not a part of the Patreon, then make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I did re-upload it for you guys to be able to see. So make sure you tap into the Patreon. That is pinned to the top of the chat. Loving this spring morning, back at work after relaxing. Spring break with the family, time to grind. You know what's so funny, Kel? I don't take no days off. I don't know what it feels like to take a day off from doing something work related. I don't know what it is. Like even on days or on the weekends where it seemed like, oh, okay, well, Anton is not necessarily about to live stream to the extent that he's been live streaming during the week. I did it. I still did a Patreon. I still worked 12, 13, 14 hours on Saturday. Same for Sunday. Sunday, I probably worked about 16, 17 hours. And then we streamed last night. It was a lit show. Shout out to everybody that was on Frame Fights, film reviews. We reviewed the Hood Classics, Menace to Society, New Jack City, and Boys in the Hood. It was a really, really great time. Shout out to everybody in the chat that pulled up. And shout out to everybody that asked questions. What up, OG? What up, William Justino? What up, Paper Cops? What up, Pint for Pint? Shout out to everybody that asked questions during the Patreon. Shout out to y'all. And the reason I say shout out to y'all is because I get an opportunity to go through every single stock, every single chat. I can interact with the audience and I can cut through the fluff so I can add value into your lives. So if y'all were tuned into the Patreon live stream, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all have been absolutely awesome. I hope y'all having a great morning. Let me look at some of these cash apps and then we'll go ahead and get started with the show because we got a busy, busy, busy week. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Matthew Watley. Says, thank you for the insight. I appreciate you, Matthew. Thank you, Matt. Mike, that dude, of course, always in the building. Shout out to Mike, that dude, always holding me down. And John Teal says, thanks for the insight. And you getting the coaching call coming up? All right, I like to see that. Yeah, it was a busy weekend. It was a super busy weekend. All weekend for me. Every day is a busy day, and that's a blessing because as long as you ain't pushing up flowers, you got another opportunity to do great things. All right. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and get started with the show. I want to lead in with this breaking news of what's happening at LaGuardia Airport. 2 pilots are dead on an Air Canada flight because they ran into a fire truck. And that ain't even had nothing to do with TSA, but we're going to get to TSA also in a minute. Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
At New York's LaGuardia Airport, and the airport is now closed. An Air Canada jet hit a fire truck on the runway. Now, this happened just before midnight. 2 pilots were killed. Dozens of other people are injured. This video from the scene showing the wrecked plane, nose tilted up to the sky. The crash truck is seen nearby. And here is the moment air traffic controllers knew something went wrong.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Yeah, 646, I see you collide with vehicle in this whole position. I know you can't move. Vehicles are responding to you now.
Okay, joining us now with the very latest is CNN correspondent Gloria Pasmino. And Gloria, what are you hearing right now at LaGuardia?
Yeah, Audie, it's just devastating listening to that audio, hearing the radio operator telling the vehicle to stop. We now know that the vehicle collided with the airplane. There were 72 passengers aboard that aircraft, 4 crew members, and sadly, the pilot and the co-pilot were killed as a result of that collision. Now, dozens of passengers were also injured. 41 passengers and crew were transported to the hospital shortly after that collision. 31 of them have been released. And the 2 people who were inside the fire truck, which collided with the airplane, we are told are in stable condition. Now, here's what happened. And as you look at the images of the airplane, you can see the front of the airplane is completely destroyed. The collision happened around 11:40 last night. This is a Jazz Aviation flight that was operating on behalf of Air Canada. The aircraft, we are told, struck a Port Authority aircraft rescue and firefighting vehicle, which was actually responding to a different aircraft on the runway. This was flight 8646. It was coming in from Montreal late last night. It left Montreal around 10:30 p.m. local time and landed here at 11:40. It collided with the firefighting vehicle shortly after the landing. In fact, we heard from officials here at the Port Authority, which manages the airport. They described the moment, saying the collision happened during the landing. Now, this was a regional jet aircraft. It was traveling south, going very fast, about 130 miles just before it hit that fire truck. Now, The passengers who did not have to be transported to the hospital were actually seen leaving the airport just a short time ago. I was able to catch up with one of them. He described the moment to me, telling me that it was a hard landing and that they had no indication that there was a problem on the runway. Listen.
We went down for a regular landing. We came in pretty hard. We immediately hit something, and it was just chaos from there. About 5 seconds later, we had come to a stop, but in that short period, I mean, everybody was hunkered down and everybody was screaming. Pretty quickly, we didn't have any directions because the pilot's cabin had been kind of destroyed. So somebody said, let's get the emergency exit and get the door in. Let's all jump out, and that's exactly what we did.
That's very tragic and is very unfortunate. First of all, I always like to lead with shout out to you, Craig. I got your email. I appreciate you. I literally just got your emails. First thing is you always want to say prayers up for the family. All right. Prayers always up for the family because, you know, you don't want this to happen to anybody. And it's literally an accident. And this is why we pay professionals, right? This is why we pay air traffic control. This is why we pay pilots what they make. This is why we pay, firefighters what they make, because at any point they are putting their lives on the line and they are responsible for hundreds of people, if not thousands of people a day that fly through these airports, whether you're talking about TSA or the pilots or the flight attendants, all of these people and the air traffic controllers, all of these people work regularly to try to ensure that we get to and from our destination safely. I always send up a prayer every time I jump on a plane. I always say a prayer every time I jump in a passenger vehicle, whether I'm the passenger or I'm the driver. And, I always want people to be super safe and to get to their destination. The first thing that I would be thinking of, I would not be one of the passengers that got up and just walked away, even if I wasn't injured. I'm always going to the hospital. I'm always going to go to the hospital because I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some kind of insurance claim that comes out of this as far as people saying that, going to the hospital. Put it like this. I promise you that the majority of the people that went to the hospital probably went to the hospital not only as a precaution, but also because they was thinking about the possibility of getting an insurance claim. Always, never just walk away, never just get up and go. Always go to the hospital, see a doctor, see a nurse, do whatever it is that you got to do. But always go to the hospital and try to get it popping. All right. Again, it's so unfortunate and it's tragic to think about the fact that these pilots are killed. 2 pilots die immediately. You can see the front of the airplane. It's absolutely destroyed. They said that they was coming in at over 100 miles an hour, and then they probably just smacked that fire truck. And it's no telling whether or not the people that were in the fire truck was actually injured also. But you got 1,000 different things all happening at the same time. We get on these aircraft and we get on these airplanes and we just take off and we just assume that everything is going to be awesome and everything is going to be great. And, we don't think about the complications and all of the different logistics that go along with trying to make sure that you get to and from to your destination safely. So that's why I don't mind paying the extra money. I don't mind pilots making a decent amount of money, because when it comes to my personal safety, I need to get home.
Audie, the passengers who did not have to be transported to the hospital were set up in a airline lounge. They were reunited with their family members. And as I said, many of them were leaving the airport just a short while ago. The FAA issued a ground stop here at LaGuardia Airport shortly after the incident. That ground stop has been lifted now, but the airport is closed. Officials telling us just in the last hour they expect LaGuardia Airport to remain closed at least until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The National Transportation Service Board, the NTSB, is on the ground launching their investigation.
You know what's so funny? We was talking about last night on on After Hours on the film review channel, and we were saying that, hey, Miss Sanchez is not gonna make it. She's stuck at the New York airport. I'm wondering if this played a role in her flight being delayed, because we all know about what's happening with TSA. I'm gonna go into that right after this, as far as ICE agents being deployed over to TSA to help, help them speed them along or whatever. In New York, the two worst airports to fly out of, in my opinion, you're almost guaranteed to get a delay, is going to be somewhere in New York, right? Whether you fly out of JFK or LaGuardia, or even if you fly out of New Jersey, because you can fly out of New Jersey also. JFK and LaGuardia, you almost guaranteed to get a delay. Atlanta, it is a strong possibility you're going to get a delay. Even if I have a stopover flight, right? Because I got to fly to London next month. And I got to fly through Atlanta, right? So you're going to fly. Actually, I don't even think I have to fly to Atlanta. Maybe that's the Brazil flight. I'm not sure. But basically, you want to make sure that you have enough gap to get to your next gate, because you almost going to miss your flight if you run in too close as far as your layover to get to the next city. So I hate flying out of Atlanta. I don't too much trip about JFK or New York, because they made some upgrades today to their lounges and to the airport itself. So it's a better experience. But I hate jumping on that train at Atlanta's airport. It is such a headache. Now, I do think that they got some really decent lounges, so that's a caveat, but you almost always going to get delayed at Atlanta
And I just have to say, the fact that the airport has to remain closed at least until the late afternoon, 2 o'clock today, is certain to cause a lot of delays, a lot of transportation issues here for passengers, which of course comes as we are seeing all these other problems, delays and long lines as a result of the partial government shutdown. So it's going to be a busy and likely, a troublesome morning for people who are going to be traveling. Audie?
Okay, that's Gloria Pesmino at LaGuardia with the latest. I want to bring in now CNN transportation analyst Mary Schiavo, former Inspector General for the Department of Transportation. She's also investigated countless aviation crashes. Good morning, Mary. Thank you for being with us.
So she one of them people that investigated Denzel Washington in the Flight movie and try to figure out how he was able to turn the flight over upside down and whether he was drunk or not.
Just to give people the state of play right now, we have those images of the plane. We just heard from our reporter, it was traveling something like 120 miles per hour coming in for its landing. When you listen to that air traffic control, those voices, what are you hearing that you'd want to investigate?
Well, clearly when an aircraft is given permission, clearance to land, basically that aircraft owns that runway. Because as you said, the aircraft was going 120, 130 miles an hour, on other planes much faster. But the brakes don't work that way. You have to slow it down with the thrust reversers. You do have brakes, but they aren't principally what slows the plane down. So once that aircraft was given permission, clearance to land, it owned that runway. Now, the fire truck we're hearing was also cleared to cross the runway. Did the controllers think that the fire truck...
Somebody says the train is helpful, AD. What do you mean? The ATL airport is huge. That train is perfect. No. Listen, sometimes that train don't even work and you got to walk. That's number one. It's not even I can't tell you how many times that I pulled up to ATL airport and they're like, hey, the train is out of commission. And you huffing it, bro. You huffing it. It's not that the train doesn't work. It's that the airport is super busy, that the airport itself is too divided. When you go over to the transportation, like to go get a rental car or something like that, you got to catch the train all the way over to, if you're on Delta, to the luggage part. Then you got to catch another train in order to go over to the rental car agency. And I don't know, man. The UX of that airport is just not right. The ceilings are super low. Everything seems congested. When I get out of DTW, bro, or if I get into Salt Lake City, the ceilings is high. Everything is nice. There's no delays. Everything is more well thought out. It's just a better experience when you go into a lot of other airports. There's so many better, bro. ATL is probably one of the worst airports. I ain't gonna say it's the worst airport because there's smaller airports, but I haven't flew out of outside of maybe a couple, like one of the airports in Washington D.C. Washington D.C. airport is kind of trash. Seem like the biggest major cities got the worst airports, bro. Honestly, I'm just keeping it 100. So it's not like the Atlanta airport's train is a bad train. It just be out of commission a lot of times.
Would be crossing behind this aircraft, that it would be further down the runway. Those are things that the investigators will want to know. But because it's all recorded, everything that happens in air traffic control is recorded in the tower cab. Of course, there's also ground control.
DCA, I think, is small. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't like. It's some airports that's just superior over others. One airport that I will say is better than a lot of them is. We give California and Los Angeles a lot of pushback, but LAX is nice. The Delta Lounge in LAX is nice. The ceilings is high. It's easier for you to get to and from wherever it is that you got to go. LAX is dope. San Diego's airport is cool, but it's smaller. It's a lot smaller airport because there's not a lot of traffic that go in and out of San Diego. Like I said, I think that DTW has got one of the best airports. McNamara Terminal and DTW flying in and out of Delta is one of the best airports in the country, to be honest with you.
Other controllers there, but at this point, speed the aircraft was going, clearance to land, it owned the runway, so that will be probably where the NTSB starts.
Can I follow up with what you said about the fire truck? I think most of us don't know how emergency services work.
What's up, Heavenly
on the tarmac. Tell us how this is supposed to be done.
Sure. So in air traffic control, in the actual control tower, they actually have what they call it the crash phone, but they use this for many things to get emergency services, firefighters, etc., to places on the airport. And we understand that a United flight that was taking off earlier and aborted to take off because of fumes in the cabin had called for services. And so this fire truck, probably other responder services as well, was responding to that earlier call. And so air traffic control does dispatch those emergency response vehicles, and they are trained airport specific. It's a very big, important part of each airport. You must have first responders, fire, emergency, medical, etc. And they are trained specific to that airport to know how to maneuver around the airport, to cross runways, to coordinate with air traffic control, not to get in the way of the train or the planes and the other traffic. But they are trained specific to that airport. So that will be another point of investigation. But from what we've heard from the tape so far, they had been cleared to cross the runway, and the plane landing had been cleared to land on the runway. The plane gets priority.
So, again, prayers up for the pilots. Again, this is breaking news about the pilots that got killed. And it's not their fault. They was clear to land, but it's just a freak accident. And that's why we pray against freak accidents. Lonnie Clark says, I'm scared of flying. Lonnie. Time to get over that fear, bro. No more fears in 2026 and going forward, big dog. No more fear. We over fear. We not letting fear control us. Fear is a limitation, right? Fear is something that limits you from having the greatest experiences in your life. You cannot let fear conquer you in no way, shape, form. Now, I'm not saying that you got to go and run towards stuff like, if you're afraid of the Alps or high, whatever, you don't have to go over to Mount Everest and try to climb it. You know what I'm saying? But don't let stuff like I'm afraid of dogs or I'm afraid of airplanes limit your experiences, because it's a lot of stuff that you're not going to experience because you can't get over that. You got to face that junk head on and end it. And honestly, it only take 1 or 2 flights for you to conquer it. It only take a couple different flights. You can't let that, bro. You can't let that control your life at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. And then we'll see these type of reports of this plane crash. It wasn't even a plane crash because all of the passengers were safe. But we'll see this landing to where it ran into a fire truck. That's a freak accident. And if you look at it statistically, you have a greater chance of having an accident, a fatal injury in an accident in a car than you ever would in a plane. I don't know too many people in a lifetime that haven't got into an accident in a car. Everybody I know have never been in an accident in a plane. That's why it's such a big deal. And they report on it when it's a plane crash because it rarely ever happens in the United States of America. You got it. There's plenty of people in here that'll tell you that it's not bad at all. He said, I used to sleep on the 20th floor as a child. Now I look at 80s pad like I would never. It's a great experience to look at the Canadian Bridge and to see people in the park. Honestly, you could just do a 360 view and I could see, I'm looking at the Michigan Train Central Depot. I'm looking at Motor City. I can see all the way down the freeway. I can see down 3rd Street where you pass MGM. I can see where they building a new Motown Museum down there. You see the new Hudson's building right there, right here. The new Hudson's building is right here. And then they got construction of the JW Marriott, the newest hotel that's coming into the city. It's beautiful, bro. And you know what's so funny? You don't really learn to appreciate it until you in a regular space. You know, like you got a regular view. Because when you first start experiencing it, it's like, oh man, this is life. And then you get used to it. And so I kind of like the idea that I have to divest myself from it and then see it differently because you learn to appreciate it, you know? You really do. I don't take none of this for granted. Not one thing. I don't have fear. I don't believe in fear. He said, order new Hudson building. I'm actually looking to probably purchase a place in there. But I don't even get to tour it until 2027 because they're still building it. So we'll see what happens. Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Roderick says, what up, Mr. Daniels? I've missed a few weeks worth of shows, trying to move up in the job, and luckily I got it. Well, first of all, hold on. Ain't no luck to it. You got it because you work for it and you put in the effort. Thanks for the consistent motivation. God bless you, man. But let me just say, you didn't get it by luck. You got it because it was yours to turn down. And whatever is for you, God made it for you. It ain't nothing that a man can do to stop you from getting it. So thank God. You know what I'm saying? All praises to God. And, you know, it's yours. It's yours to have. And congratulations. You deserve it. We need to be celebrating people doing great things like getting these new opportunities in the middle of when everybody else is talking about layoffs and all of this stuff. We not that. We not that at all. All right. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I do want to pivot. I want to stay on the same wave, but I want to pivot because one of the things that's also happening is Trump is sending ICE agents over to the airport. Now, I'm going to break this down for y'all and let y'all know what's going on, but let me go ahead and give you the skinny on what's happening at the airport.
Here in New York will likely add to the already chaotic situation at the nation's airports. You've been hearing about this a lot, but you haven't heard this before. ICE agents have been sent to help TSA officers who are not getting any pay checks during the partial government shutdown. So this has led to very short staffing, very, very long lines in a lot of airports, and a whole lot of stress. Skylar Henry is at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport with the latest there. Skylar, good morning to you. What can you tell us?
Hey, Gail, good morning. We have already seen some of those ICE officers. As of now, they appear to be patrolling the lines outside of the checkpoints. This is the TSA pre-check line here at the airport. The folks that we have spoken with say that they've been in line for hours already, and they still have a ways to go before they make their way to and through these.
Look at the amount of people that are trying to get through the airport all at the same time. Let me say it again. Look at the amount of people that are trying to get through the airport all at the same time. Now, for those of you that may not be familiar, I'm going to give you an update, okay? So basically what's happening is Congress, who controls the purse strings of the United States, their job is to make sure that the government is funded and the money is flowing everywhere that they're supposed to go. They get paid in any shutdown, whether it's a major shutdown, it's a partial shutdown. Congress gets paid no matter what. Now, Congress is holding monies, right? And they're basically holding the government, TSA agents, Homeland Security hostage because they are saying, and they just want a quick victory, but this is what they're saying. They want more oversight on the deportation of illegal migrants out of this country. And so what they're doing is they're doing the effective thing that effectively what the UAW or unions usually do when they want to get a new contract, a bargaining agreement, or they want to get a victory, or they want to push through healthcare, whatever it is that they want as far as to use and leverage what they have to get whatever it is that they want from the companies. This is what Congress, the Democrats in particular, are doing. They're saying, listen, we want to get a quick victory before the midterms in 2026, and we're going to hold TSA agents hostage. So TSA agents have missed 2 paychecks. Now, they say that TSA agents on average make about $40,000 a year. So these are not people that is making $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 a year. These are not people that can afford, most of them cannot afford to miss a paycheck. Most of them need their paycheck, let alone can go without 2 or 3 paychecks, right? The last government shutdown, the major shutdown in which most people were complaining about food stamps and all of that stuff, that lasted 43 days. This partial government shutdown, which is not getting as much visibility, the only reason it's getting more visibility now is because when people are going through the airports, they saying, oh man, these lines is crazy. I don't really want to fly through this, whatever, so on and so forth, is because more than 300 TSA agents have quit. So in the interim, what Trump has done is he's enabled Tom Homan to then reassign ICE agents into the airport to help them and assist them to help people get through these checkpoints much more effectively. All right. So that is essentially what is happening with TSA and what is happening with at your airport. So if you're flying anywhere, they saying that you need to get there at least 3.5, sometimes 4 hours early, just for you to be able to move through the airport. And so Trump is deploying TSA agents as a result of it.
Security checkpoint over the weekend. A high number of TSA officers called out already, the highest since the shutdown began. More than 400 officers said that they have quit altogether, compounding the staffing shortage.
400 now.
The frustration is palpable at airports across the country.
Oh, it's moving kind of slow today.
From New York to New Orleans, where security lines snaked all the way into the parking lot. On Saturday alone, more than 11.5% of all TSA officers called out of work nationwide, the most since the shutdown began. At Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, the nation's busiest hub.
Anybody want a water?
Staff handed out water to weary travelers over the weekend who have been advised to arrive.
Look, I have never, ever in my life, let me say that with a capital N, I have never, ever in my life seen the Atlanta airport that busy. Ever. That is where you go to baggage claim at, right? Or actually it's where you go in and check in when you're catching your flights, and is where you get baggage claim, where you're getting off your flights, where you get off the terminal and then you take the train over to there to baggage claim, and then you can go over to the rental car agencies or whatever. I have never. They say that Atlanta is the busiest airport in the United States of America. I have never, ever seen that many people in my life at the Atlanta airport. Heck no. No way, no how, will you ever see me trying to fly at this time. Honestly, I'm praying. I don't take a flight until like 30 days from now, 31 days from now, or something like that. I don't want to ever deal with this type of foolishness. I don't. Matter of fact, let me pull up my flight real quick to make sure I'm not dealing with this nonsense. I can't deal with this, bro. I'm not built like that.
4 hours before their scheduled departure time. Julie Curtis and her
4
husband
hours?
did just that and were still forced to rebook after missing their flight.
We've just been standing and seeing our feet are killing us, and my husband has a heart condition on top of that.
Over the weekend, the Trump administration said it would start deploying ICE agents to some of the harder hit airports to help speed up TSA screenings.
These officers are well trained in security, and they're well trained in identification. And look, we're going to do what we can to help TSA move those people through the line.
But Democrats are slamming the move. The tactics of immigration enforcement have been at the center of the partial government shutdown on Capitol.
Nope, don't have to deal with it. Not interested in it. So I don't fly through that. I'm going straight through the Netherlands, going through Amsterdam, and then I can get straight over to the UK, which I've never been to the UK before. So I don't have to deal with the foolishness. I don't have to deal with the nonsense. I can get straight to where I need to go. Because ain't nobody got time for this, bro. Nobody has time for this. Who can deal with this nonsense, bro? Crazy. Absolutely not. No way, no how. I couldn't be bothered, bro.
Capitol Hill. That's left the Department of Homeland Security without much of its funding and meant work with deferred pay for more than 50,000 TSA officers. Lawmakers have yet to agree on reforms after federal immigration officers killed 2 American citizens during protests in Minneapolis.
ICE agents who are untrained and have caused problems everywhere they've gone, lurking at our airports, that's asking for trouble. And it will certainly make the chaos at the airports even worse.
The president of the union that represents TSA officers slammed the idea of ICE at the airport, saying that these officers need to be paid and not replaced. Nate.
So this is actually the interview that Tom Homan did that broke down exactly what the plan is and why Trump is deploying ICE agents to assist in TSA.
President Trump posted on Truth Social, quote, "If the radical left Democrats don't immediately sign an agreement to let our country, in particular our airports, be free and safe again, I will move our brilliant and patriotic ICE agents to the airports where they will do security like no one has ever seen before." Now, in a subsequent post, he said that he instructed ICE agents to be ready by Monday. And now the president is saying that you, sir, are going to be in charge. How is that going to work? Are ICE agents going to move into American airports starting tomorrow, Monday?
Yes. And I'm currently working on the plan now of execution, working with the director of ICE and the administrator at TSA, the acting administrator. So we'll put together a plan today and we'll execute tomorrow.
Okay, so there are a lot of questions here. First of all, are ICE agents even remotely trained to handle security at airports?
ICE agents agree.
Wait. Hold on. Give me a second. I know that CNN is dense. I know that they have some catching up to do, that they're absolutely getting trounced in the ratings compared to Fox News, and MSNBC is even worse. Are ICE agents, do they have the capacity and do they have the training to be able to do security at an airport? Of all of the questions that you could ask Tom Homan about ICE being deployed to airports to help them, you lead with, are they able to do security at the airport? That's how I know I could do these. Like if I just needed to be on some kind of news channel or something like that, I could do that. I could definitely jump on a live stream and ask Tom Homan a crazy question that is self-explanatory. It's ICE agents.
receive a high level of training. And, you know, the ICE agents are assigned at many airports across the country already. They do a lot of criminal investigation on smuggling at airports. But, you know, there's got TSA agents covering exits, you know, people that enter through the exits. You know, certainly a highly trained ICE law enforcement officer can cover an exit, makes people don't go through those exits, entering the airport through the exits, and that stuff like that relieves that TSA officer to go to screening and to reduce those lines. So wherever we can provide extra security, I don't see an ICE agent looking at an X-ray machine because they're not trained in that. But there are certain parts of security that TSA is doing that we can move them off those jobs and put them in the specialized jobs, help move those lines.
So AG Lowe says TSA screening does require training. ICE agents aren't trained to do full screenings. Tom Homan just explained it very clearly for the people that's in the back. They are not trying to do all of the things that TSA agents are doing. What they are trying to do is to free them up to do the things that TSA agents are specifically trained to do. So, for example, allowing for you to get scanned when you do the scanner, when you got to do the hands above, or now they do the one where you can do it with your hands by your side. ICE agents won't be operating those machines. They won't be looking at the scanners and seeing and going through your book bag and all of that to see what it is that's going on. But they will be doing the things that other ICE agents do as far as helping you move along, or the security, or standing around, or looking at suspicious people, or whatever, so on and so forth, right? How much training could it possibly be to help people move along, or to free up an ICE agent, or to free up a TSA agent so that he can go and actually do more of the technical work? I go through the airport all the time, at least 2 to 3 times a month. And I'm not trying to diminish the job that they do, but for some reason, I think I can look at a screen and say, and it showed a little beep because I got a watch on, and they say, you know what? Let me test that. Oh, okay, patch it down, cool.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. So what you're saying is when you move ICE into airports, they are going to be just around the exits and the exteriors. They're not going to be helping people get through the lines and screening people's bags.
Those discussions are going on now. I'm not expert at TSA, so that's why I'm talking to the TSA administrator and the ICE director, find out where we can fit in. We'll have a plan by the end of today where we're sending what airports we're starting with and where we're sending them, but that's a discussion we're having right now. I mean, I ended the discussion to do the show, and I'll be back having those discussions when I finish. So it's a work in progress, but we will be at the airports tomorrow helping TSA move those lines along.
Lonnie says, stop their payment and see how many would do their jobs. I don't really know what that means. What does that mean? Listen, let me say this. I am not in favor of Congress, Democrats in particular, holding up the federal government from being funded for a stupid reason like that at all. I think that everybody, no matter what job that you have, should get paid according to whatever it is that you agreed to get paid for the job that you're doing. So I'm not really sure where the argument lies. This is in addition to, while they try to get Congress to pass through this resolution so that they can fund the government. I am 100% on TSA agent side. They should get paid to do the job that they've been getting paid to do. They shouldn't have to continue to get back pay. So I want to be very clear where I'm standing on this thing, right? So whenever y'all looking for a debate or y'all looking for an argument, when we having these conversations, the nuance is what we're talking about, right? Can an ICE agent stand in line and move people along? Can an ICE agent direct people to the line that they're supposed to go to? I think that they can. I'm pretty sure you don't need 4 to 5 months of training as a TSA officer to do the things that ICE agents are going to be doing in assisting the TSA agents that are still there and that have not quit. So I'm trying to figure out what y'all talking about. Would I be able to be a TSA agent? I absolutely could be a TSA agent. I'm never going to be a TSA agent because that's not what I'm interested in doing. So it's not about whether or not we would do their jobs or not. It's about looking at the context and the nuance of what we're talking about. I'm pretty sure that everybody that's watching this show that's in this chat right now, male or female, would be able to do a TSA agent's job. Are we about to go in and step in and do a TSA agent's job? No, we didn't apply for those jobs. That's not what we do. So I don't really know where y'all get that from. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that mean?
And I know you said it's a work in progress, but at least at the beginning, are there specific airports that you're thinking about starting with? And how many ICE agents are you considering deploying to do this?
Again, that's going based on discussions we're having today. I think we need to, my opinion is that we concentrate on airports where the longest waits are. We prioritize those. The large airports where there's a long wait, like 3 hours. I think we got to prioritize what we do like we do everything else. So again, having those discussions, continued discussions after the show with the leadership of those agencies will lead us to some decisions based on prioritization, where we deploy, how quick we deploy, how many agents we deploy. So. Right. Hopefully we'll have all those answers here by this afternoon, but we're working on it. And when we deploy tomorrow, we'll have a well thought out plan to execute.
With respect, if you're doing this in 24 hours, how well thought out could it possibly be?
Again, ICE has been at airports across the country for a long time. It's just expanding those things. Look, how much of a plan does it mean to guard an exit to make sure no one comes through that exit? And I mean, we're talking about security options, and these officers are well trained in security.
Yeah, that is true. Like, for example, when you coming through the airport, there is a entrance into getting your bags checked, and then you can go through the part where you're getting off the plane, and then you exit through. It'll be like one lane over where you're exiting through to go back over to, go and get your bag at luggage claim. There's usually an ICE agent sitting right there to make sure that nobody comes the opposite way through. I'm pretty sure that a TSA agent. I'm pretty sure that an ICE agent can sit there at that desk and make sure nobody comes through the wrong way, and that everybody actually goes through and actually gets their bag checked, their luggage checked. Like, that's not rocket science. Every job that I've ever done took training on, right? Every single job that I've ever had training on. Everyone. I don't care if it's respirator training. I don't care if it's training on a computer. I don't care whatever the training has been. They make it so easy and so simple. Sometimes I think that the company is wasting money. But then I realize, wait a minute, there's some people that really just don't get it. Cut the computer on. Doop. Make sure that you don't open up any emails that suspected of a phishing attack. Like some of this stuff that I be thinking, like, even when it comes to what we talking about on people reach out to me, right? Because people do these fake profiles of me and stuff like that. And so instead of just clipping up the content or whatever on TikTok or whatever, it'll be a fake person on Facebook or a fake person on TikTok or a fake person on Instagram. Now, I have a validated X account. I have a validated Instagram account. I don't have any additional accounts here. You can look in the description of the video and you can go to my official TikTok, whatever, right? But people will reach out to me all the time and say, oh man, did you reach out to me with an alternative account in order to try to do some crypto or to sell me a product? And I'm like, no. Why would I, as busy as I am, sleep deprived and all, in any way, shape, or form, reach out to you individually that I don't know to do business and sell you a product when every single day I say that I do not do business outside of contacting me via email? But people still fall for it. So then I have to make myself realize, you know what? You do just got to walk it through like a little baby. And we got to make sure that people understand this is how you cut the computer on. This is how you do. Like, have y'all ever been Have y'all ever been in the Apple store and you seen Apple going through, like you'll see an Apple salesperson, they got a table that they usually do, and they do like demonstrations in the daytime, or they do scheduled demonstrations to teach you how to use your iPhone or to teach you how to use a MacBook or whatever it is, right? And have y'all ever actually listened to those tables and stuff like that? For me, I'll be like, man, just give me my phone and let me cut it on and figure it out for myself. Nope. They walk them down like a little baby. And some people need that. Shout out to Aviation Experience. I appreciate you. Some people need that. Honestly, some people you got to walk through like a little baby and teach them how to get through. Hey, this is how you cut your iPhone on. And I don't think that it's a bad thing, but I'll be thinking to myself, how hard could it be to stand at a desk and tell people, hey, you can't come this way, you got to go that way? Do you need 5 months of training to do that? I think that that's a waste of resources. Aviation Experience, I already covered it. It was the first thing that I covered as soon as I started the show. We 51 minutes into the show, big dog. I covered this whole Air Canada situation. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turning your notifications. Y'all be coming in late in the morning. What do y'all expect me to do? I covered it already. Bad Habit says, morning, big dog. Hope all is well with you and the fam. I'm looking to move to Charlotte in 2027. Any insight on the area? I've never been to Charlotte. I can't speak on Charlotte. I hear that Charlotte has a robust healthcare technology. I heard that it could be generally expensive, but I have not visited Charlotte. I need to go and visit Charlotte. And then maybe I can go and catch, well, they used to have the Charlotte Hornets there, but they don't have that anymore. But nope, I hear a lot of good things about Charlotte, but I've never been to Charlotte, so I can't necessarily speak to Charlotte. How does that work? Can't TSA draw unemployment? No, you cannot draw unemployment unless you get laid off. You can't quit your job and draw unemployment. No. So how it works is you keep working without a paycheck. And then when Congress finally approves the budget, then you get all of that at back pay. So you're basically getting 3 paychecks all at the same time. That's how it works. Why am I thinking about, okay, you're right. I'm thinking about the New Orleans Pelicans. The Charlotte Hornets are there. I'm thinking about the New Orleans Pelicans for whatever reason. So shout out to the Charlotte Hornets. Y'all do got LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is balling. You're right. My bad. I apologize. I apologize. They do have the Hornets. I am thinking about the Bobcats when Bob Johnson had wound up selling the team and stuff like that. You are right. You are right. You are 100% correct. Good morning, says Wes Hopping for Less. Good morning. I'm starting the AI automation program next month, and I'm running a trucking bag too. Shout out to the bag chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We did a phenomenal live stream on stocks. That is re-uploaded for y'all to rewatch. It was a great live stream that we had this weekend. We got another one coming up this weekend. I remember there was the New Orleans Hornets when they were sold, and then they brought them back to me in the Charlotte Hornets when they went back. So, yeah, Elon Musk did say that he was going to step in and pay. He offered. So let me see if I can find this real quick. Let me see. Because they also did the Timu Obama. Sometimes I forget about Timu Obama. Hakeem Jeffries was speaking about it. He was on State of the Union also.
leader Hakeem Jeffries. Thank you for being here this morning, sir. What's your response to what Tom Homan revealed here?
Well, good morning. Great to be with you. There are three things that have been true since Donald Trump and Republicans came back into power last January. Life is more expensive, life is more chaotic, and life is more extreme. The last thing that the American people need are for untrained ICE agents to be deployed at airports all across the country, potentially to brutalize or in some instances kill them. We've already seen how ICE conducts itself. These are untrained individuals. When
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I am sick and tired, honestly, of this Democrat propaganda and these talking points. It's old. It is old. It is tired. You can't shock jock us, Hakeem Jeffries. Nobody is worried about getting killed at an airport. Like it's old, bro. It is old, and I don't know how anybody can call himself a Democrat at this point. I don't, bro. I don't know how y'all sit there and say, yo, you know what? I'm voting Democrat. It baffles me, but I'm not surprised. I don't know how y'all do it. Like, it's old and it's tired. It's like the Democrat Party is for infants, man. It's for children. It's for people on training wheels trying to figure out, were they taught what they were supposed to be taught in their civics class in high school? Democrats are for children, bro. They are genuinely for children. I seriously, man, like when I hear Timu Obama, Hakeem Jeffries talk, when I used to hear Jasmine Crockett speak, when I hear AOC at Munich and she couldn't even answer a basic question with regard to government. And they laughed at her on a national stage. And JD Vance was like, yo, they got to go back to school and learn what we do. And when we elect these people and we see Al Green in Congress, when we see Ilhan Omar speak, I think to myself, are we in elementary school or are we adults here? Just the first statement that comes out of his mouth, it's like, man, come on, bro. We can't be this dense. We gotta have some kind of logic to us. But honestly, I genuinely feel slow when I'm listening to these people. Like, what? This don't have nothing to do with nothing, bro. Come on, man. Like, we got to suffer through this. We got to get it on both sides.
it comes to doing the current job that they have for the most part, let alone deploying them in close exposure in highly sensitive situations at airports across the country.
But it seems like it's happening. Tom Homan is in charge of it, and he's working on a plan right now. Is there any chance that there could be some kind of deal done soon? I mean, obviously, what the president is trying to do is squeeze lawmakers to try to finally come up with a plan to fund DHS.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Republicans have decided that they would rather force TSA agents to work without pay, inconvenience millions of Americans all across the country, and now potentially expose them to untrained ICE agents and create chaos at airports throughout the land rather than get ICE agents under control. Our basic premise and value proposition from the very beginning has been simple. ICE should conduct itself like every other law enforcement agency in the country. But if Republicans are unwilling to get to an agreement in that regard, the one thing we can do immediately are to make sure that TSA agents are paid. And we know, Dana, there's bipartisan support for that. Senator Ted Cruz and Senator John Kennedy have recently indicated that they would support moving in that direction. Let's bring those bills to the floor in the House and the Senate tomorrow so we can get TSA agents paid.
So let me ask you about that, because you are the whole reason, as you just laid out, that DHS is not funded right now is because you're trying to push the administration to enact some policy changes on how Border Patrol and ICE act when they are out looking for illegal immigrants. And now what you're saying is that you're okay with funding TSA, which has been, I think, the biggest point of leverage that you possibly had in order to get what you want on ICE, because ICE already has its money. So what was the point of this shutdown if you're okay with funding TSA?
Well, we never approach these things that are in front of us with respect to government funding in the context of leverage. Our approach is, what is the appropriate use of taxpayer dollars? And we believe that taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable.
He's not even answering the question, bro. Yo, I almost went back on my promise last week to not curse. But God is, I'm good. We good. Y'all can keep me on in the daycares. Y'all can keep me on in the churches. Truck drivers, I already got y'all held down. Shout out to the teachers. You can keep me on in the teachers lounge. Everybody, we good. It's no cursing. We cool on that. I'm just saying that it almost pissed me off that who are y'all voting for? Why are y'all voting these people in office? Why? Listen, Dana Bash is not my favorite at all, but she asked a reasonable question. She asked a reasonable question. Why are you saying that you want to fund TSA and you're not funding TSA and you're using this as leverage to try to push through whatever it is that you're saying that you want to push through? Why are you not funding TSA and you're saying that you want to fund TSA? Like, this is not rocket science. You gonna curse for me? Thank you, Trill. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, man.
For the American people, not brutalize or kill them or violently target law-abiding immigrant families, which is what we know ICE agents have been doing. And so at this point in time, more than 30 days in to the Trump Republican Department of Homeland Security shutdown, I think the most appropriate course of action is to fund TSA, fund FEMA, fund the Coast Guard, fund our cybersecurity professionals so that, Republicans stop holding the American people hostage and these hardworking civil servants because of the Republican unwillingness, at least to date, to get ICE under control. Listen, we believe that immigration enforcement in this country should be fair, just, and humane. And Donald Trump promised that he was going to go after the worst of the worst, violent felons who are here illegally. That's not what has been happening. They're targeting American citizens and law-abiding immigrant families. And of course, that needs to end. That is not an appropriate use of taxpayer dollars.
I'm just trying to understand how, if you fund TSA and the other agencies that you just talked about, how you think that you will be able to put pressure then on the administration to make the changes to ICE that you're asking for.
The American people are going to continue to put pressure on the administration because they know ICE is out of control. They need to be reined in. And our view is that they should not get another dime of taxpayer dollars until we have bold and dramatic and meaningful changes to ICE's behavior so that they are compelled to behave like every other law enforcement agency in the country. That includes making sure that there are judicial warrants that are required before ICE agents can rip the American people out of their homes in the middle of the night. We need to protect sensitive locations like houses of worship and hospitals and schools and polling sites. We need independent investigations so that if ICE agents break the law, they can be investigated and criminally prosecuted by state and local authorities. We need to make sure that they are trained properly, that there are excessive use of force policies that are put into place, that we have independent access to detention centers. These are all common sense, reasonable things that the American people are appropriately demanding, and we're not going to back away from them.
Let me tell you, bro. And if we all know Trump, right? Like him, love him, hate him. You to think he racist. Some of us, like myself, think that he's one of the greatest presidents of all time, right? If anybody, including Timo Obama here, that's why I put his name as Timo Obama. I usually like to just put Hakeem Jeffries. Even if I don't necessarily care for you, I put Ilhan Omar, AOC. I put Timo Obama right here, right? If there's anything that we know about Trump, is that Trump is not a bend or break type of person. And you know, I know that they are holding TSA agents hostage for no reason whatsoever, because the Trump administration is never going to give in to those demands. They will never have you slow down ICE from being able to get people out of this country that's not supposed to be here while we talking about sleeper cells with Iran. We know that Trump is not going to sit here and play no games and let you go and try to throw ICE agents in jail for arresting illegal migrants. Trump, bro, nobody, and I mean nobody, believes that Trump is going to sit here and let you bully him. We already know what the Trump speech is going to say. And you know, ICE agents have removed people that are so heinous in this country, of which the likes of what we've never seen before. That's Trump's talking point. He's always going to say, you know, and things we've never seen before. We eliminated Iran, and we're going to make this country safer like we've never seen before. We, you know, made sure that the tax bills get the people paid, and people are going to have more money in their pockets, more than they've ever seen before. We know that Trump is going to be more than you've ever seen before. And one thing that we know is that he don't bend or break when it comes to ICE, immigration enforcement. The number one thing that Trump has been talking about since he came into office in 2016 is what? The border wall. If there's anything more that we've seen Trump do, more than anything else, and I'm talking about big, beautiful bill, I'm talking about not like an auto pen, all of that. The one thing that Trump has been consistent on the entire time that he's been in office is that he want people that is not supposed to be in this country out of this country. I mean, for God's sakes, I got into an argument with somebody yesterday, and I told him, I said, bro, Trump is the only president that fought for birthright citizenship. He went on record and said, man, that was for slaves. That was for black people. He the only president that said, listen, man, birthright citizenship, I don't like it. And this is the hill that they decide that they want to die on. This is the sword that they staking it all on. Of all of the issues that you can fight for, this is the thing that Timo Obama and friends has decided to stake their claim.
Meanwhile, with regard to the war in Iran, the Pentagon is talking about asking the White House to approve a request to ask Congress for over $200 billion to fund the Iran war. Now, this is two sources familiar with the matter that tell CNN this. Is there any world in which you would support any more money for the Pentagon for this war?
Listen, the Department of Defense, Donald Trump and Republicans haven't even made the case for why we are in this reckless war of choice right now to the American people. They've got no vision, no plan, no exit strategy. They clearly didn't anticipate some of the things that have happened, including the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. What you're seeing right now are gas prices are through the roof, and that's adding to an environment in America right now where life has already become too expensive for the American people because of failed policies by Donald Trump, including but not limited to the Trump tariffs, which have increased costs on everyday Americans by thousands of dollars per year. We should not be spending billions of dollars per day at this point in time to drop bombs in the Middle East when Republicans are unwilling to spend a dime to actually extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits and make sure that Americans can go see a doctor.
He don't even know how to speak, bro. He don't even know how to speak. I just can't, man. I can't keep doing it. It's too much. When I hear Democrats speak, it bothers me. It shakes me to my core. I have never disliked the party more than I dislike them now. I just can't, man. Because you, to be honest with you, it pisses me off to think that that's the party that I used to support. Now, of course, I know that the party was different. And it was more moderate and it was more reasonable. And the things that Republicans stand for today is some of the stuff that they was rolling with in the 90s and the early 2000s. But this version of the Democrat Party is diabolical. And there's no coming back from it. I will never, ever. even if I don't like the person in office. If they gave us Bush 2 again, and I hate the job that Bush 2 did, if they gave us Bush 2 again, I would still not vote Democrat. Give me Green Party, Tea Party, some party, whatever. If they gave me Bush 2, I would never, ever vote for a Democrat for president of the United States of America. So for us, as Republicans, our real conversation needs to be being had, not as far as voting straight down party lines, but more or less about who we should determine in the primary should be the representation of what the Republican Party is. That's where our real our decision is made. It's in the primaries. And I know that people don't get as engaged in a primary because they only care about Republican or Democrat. No, I care about who is the representation of the Republican Party. And that's why we have to get engaged on a local level. That's why we got to get engaged in the primaries. That's why we got to do our research, because I cannot, under any circumstance, see a Kamala Harris, a Timu Obama, or any of these type of people to really be able to run this country. It pisses me off that they even in Congress right now. And we got to have term limits. We have to have term limits. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats. Curtis Taylor says these people are insufferable. Facts. And I will never debate you on that. AR is back, says just touched down from Dallas. Shout out to High Tolerance for the hospitality and amazing brisket. High Tolerance got brisket like that? Wait a minute. What? Yo, we starting to turn into Tyler Durden and Fight Club out here. The Bag Chaser Tentacles is crazy. The Bag Chaser Tentacles is in every state. It's starting to touch every country. I got bag chasers in Idaho. I got bag chasers in Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Philly, LA. It ain't nowhere that we go that we not there. Wherever we go, we there. So we got it's like our own fraternity and sorority. The nation is strong. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Chasers is everywhere. They everywhere. I go to places and they be like, salute to the Chasers. Man, I kid you not, bro. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, hey, salute to the Chasers. I go somewhere. Hey, I'm sorry, who you talking to? You do know that that's the king of the bag chasers, right? And then I try to play humble. And I try to play humble, man. And I'd be like, we just cool. No. This guy deserves the best of accommodations. He is the lead bag chaser, and he should be treated as such. He is the lead bag chaser, and he should be treated as such. Shout out to the Chasers. Shout out to Chaser Nation. We're chasing 22,000 bag chasers worldwide. So I want to make sure that y'all understand what's going on. All right. But what sounds insane, Slimmy? Chasers is everywhere, bro. All right, Slim. Let me ask you a question, Slimmy. Should we release the hat? Should we release the Kraken? Should we release the hats? Should we release the Kraken, Slimmy? Should we release the hats? Hold on. Let me go get a different chaser hat because I feel like I got to get a different chaser hat right now. Give me a second. Let me see. Trying to figure out if I should release the Kraken. And now you already know about this one. I like this one. You know me, I'm more of a muted color type of guy. The gray with the black on it. But I think I'm going to switch it up on y'all. I might pull up to the Lakers game with Chaser Nation with the maroon. I might have to pull up the Chaser Nation and get it popping, bro. Ladies gonna have to get their own colors. We might have to get some ladies. Ladies their own color. Get it popping. I like that. I like that. I like that. Y'all better listen. Slimmy is in the chat. Y'all say it. You see it say Slimmy says, man, if y'all don't get on Slimmy, I think y'all should get on Slimmy's head top. I'm not even gonna blame it on me. I'm gonna say it's Slimmy's fault. This is all Slimmy's fault. Y'all better get on Slimmy and let him know what y'all want. Get on him. Get on him. You need the hat. Get on Slim. Slimmy is in the chat. Y'all need to be on top of him right away. I don't know why y'all not on Slim and telling them what it is that y'all want to do. I might have to go back with the white. You know me. Yeah, Slimmy is a CEO of merch. the co-CEO of merch. Y'all better get on Slim Dog Millionaire. Get on his. Y'all know his Instagram. DM him. Get on him. The whole 9 yards. Get on Slim Head, and then we'll drop it. If y'all get on Slim the way y'all want to, y'all supposed to, we can drop it this weekend. All right. It's all Slimmy's fault. I'm blaming it on Slimmy. That's the beautiful thing about having people on your team is because you can now divert responsibility and accountability to other people. Shout out to AR's back. You see, hey, y'all see AR's hat? AR got one on. AR in this profile picture right here has a bag chaser hat on. He got the same hat that I got on. Sounds like Slimmy has preferential treatment to me. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. He was at the meetup. So it's some people that already got one because they was at the meetup. They was at the last meetup. So they just got it in person. But yeah. We on it. I'm gonna have Slimmy take care of it. Shout out to my dog Chase Barnes, and make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. When we drop the link, I'm dropping it in the Patreon first. I'm telling you right now that I'm very careful about Dusties. I don't want people getting my hats just because they, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. Shout out to my dog Chase Barnes, says happy Monday. AD and Pete's. Democrat is whack. Stay in school. Mr. Jeerley. I like that car. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Anton, thank you for talking about Steve Hilton. What do you think about Chad Bianco, Republican candidate, listening in Big Island, Hawaii? I got to do some research. So as the midterms come up, I'll be reviewing different people in the Republican Party. I'm definitely going to be talking about him. All right. I'll get Steve on here.
Hello.
Hey, I'm on a live stream. Can you do me a favor when you get a chance? No rush. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, what's going on?
Steve Hilton, his name is Steve Hilton. He's a Republican candidate for governor in California. You might have to do some digging and some research to get his contact information, but I want to get him on the show. Is it possible that you can reach out to him?
Yep, I'll look into it.
All right, cool.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so I got my people on it. V Nicole says Stock Club was awesome, my handsome friend. Shout out to V. Now you know that the nurses love AD, right? You know the nurses love AD. V says Stock Club was awesome, my handsome friend. Hopefully catching a coaching call soon. Got to get on the waiting list. Appreciate all that you do because the nurses love AD. Everybody love AD. The nurses love me. Look at V. V telling you that the nurses love AD. V's telling you that the nurses love AD. Shout out to you, V. Stock Club was awesome. We broke it down. We had great conversations. I am so proud of all of my bag chasers and everybody that is a part of the platform. All right. When y'all get into the Patreon, make sure y'all tap into the Discord. Link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos. All right. Shout out to my girl V. Messi, what up, Messi? Says, hey, AD, much love. Advice, please. I was offered a raise at work, but instead of a salary increase, they're offering me stock options in the company and matched 401k. Is that a good trade-off? Absolutely. Absolutely. Take it. Take the equity, take the stock options, take the 401k match, take all of it. Absolutely. Most of the time when people get a raise, unless you're getting double the money or you're getting triple the money, right? You won't really see a real change in your pay after taxes and all of that stuff. The real change comes in your net worth. Take it. Don't think twice about it. Try to negotiate even more for it, but take it 100%. Absolutely take it. Yes. You really never even see a change in your lifestyle once your pay increases. It's not significant enough for it to impact you. 100% take it. Nola Grizz says, why can't they write something up to only fund TSA for now? Man, they not working on y'all behalf. Congress don't care nothing about y'all. Veterans love AD too, Angie. Well, thank you, Ange. Thank you, Ange. All right, y'all. So let's figure it out. What up, R Streets? What up, Oscar? What up, HVH? What up, OG? Rihanna? What up, Messi? What up, A Dunn? What up, Mike? What's going on, Melinda? What's up, everybody in the building? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out with me. All right, y'all ready? You said you thought they was being cheap? Man, if you don't take that money, girl, that they giving you. All right, where we at? So we went with Timu Obama. We making great time today. Let's see what else we want to talk about. LaGuardia. I want to get over to Pat Bev eventually if we have time. Oh, let's talk about the war. All right, let's talk about the war in Iran. Trump is saying that he wants to make a deal, and he's holding off and halting strikes because he's saying that the talks went absolutely phenomenal. It's going absolutely phenomenal. And the goal is to open up the strait and ultimately remove this regime or prevent this regime from ever acquiring ballistic missiles, no longer funding proxy wars, to break them completely and to have them being decent citizens in the Middle East. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
President Donald Trump sending a message via Truth Social seconds ago saying effectively, based on good and productive conversations with Iran, he has instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for a 5-day period. The president saying this is subject to the success of ongoing meetings and discussions. For more on the rapidly unfolding situation in the Middle East, let's bring in CBS News contributor Robert Berger now. He's in Jerusalem. Robert, good morning to you. President Trump taking a pause on his weekend threat, but Israel and Iran are continuing to trade attacks this morning. So what is the latest where you are?
Yes, Israel says that it's continuing to attack what it calls infrastructure targets in Tehran, and that would mean ballistic missile sites and launchers, as well as targets of the regime like the Revolutionary Guards. And Israel also has a new tactic, which is sending drones to hit checkpoints of the besieged militia in Tehran and elsewhere. And Prime Minister Netanyahu saying yesterday to the reporters that there are two goals here. One, to cripple the Iranian military so that it can't rebuild and attack Israel in the future. And two, to create the conditions for the people of Iran to take to the streets and to overtake the regime.
So we have this update that President Trump now delaying his threat to hit Iranian sites. But over the weekend, we saw more than 100 people injured in an Iranian strike on southern Israel. And this was near a nuclear facility. What are we learning about that incident and the response from the government?
Yeah, these attacks are continuing even today, despite what President Trump said. And we had an alert here in Jerusalem just a short time ago. But over the weekend, there were two major attacks when two Iranian ballistic missiles got through Israel's defensive shield. And these missiles carry 1,000-pound warheads each. And they hit two cities in southern Israel, including in Dimona, where a neighborhood was destroyed. And that Dimona is just 2 or 3 miles, the place where this missile hit, just 2 or 3 miles from Israel's nuclear facility. So if that facility had been hit, the results could have been catastrophic.
So I wanted to get it on CBS, and then I'm also going to take you over to obviously Fox News, because I want you to get it from both perspectives. That way you have a decent view from both lenses on what's going on with Iran, and then I'm gonna give you my perspective. It's also interesting because it's a lot of people that was asking me all last week, Anton, where's Netanyahu? Is he dead? Is Netanyahu gone? Is Netanyahu dead? Well, Netanyahu also speaks on this also, and this is what he had to say.
To report that the U.S. and Iran have had over the last 2 days very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East.
Whoa. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with the latest. Trey, does that catch you by surprise?
Absolutely. This is a major development. President Trump taking to Truth Social, not only to say there are very good and productive conversations taking place between the United States and Iran, but he goes on to say he's ordered the Department of War to postpone for at least 5 days strikes against Iran's energy and power infrastructure. This comes after the president issued that ultimatum over the weekend about opening the Strait of Hormuz. We don't have any additional information at this point into the president's thinking about this, but this is a president who has applied immense pressure on the Iranian regime through thousands of airstrikes over the past 3 weeks. And this, again, is a president who in the past has indicated he prefers a diplomatic option when one is available. The images you see here are Iranian ballistic missiles soaring through the skies of Israel over the weekend. There were dozens of attacks that took place, the Israelis striking back against Iran's storage facilities for these missiles, going after many of not only the production lines, but where they keep these missiles and launchers. We understand they've been quite successful in those strikes, although the Iranians are still able to get off much of the incoming missile fire here to Israel. In the city of Arad over the weekend, we visited there yesterday. More than 100 people were wounded in a single Iranian ballistic missile attack. But while the focus was there in the south of Israel, regional focus also on the Strait of Hormuz, where President Trump referenced over the weekend the possibility of conducting additional strikes that appear now to be off the table, at least for 5 days. I asked Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about that post.
President Trump said that if in 48 hours the Iranians don't open the Strait of Hormuz, that there will be strikes against the power grids in Iran. Will you participate in those strikes? And what do you think should happen next in this campaign?
I think President Trump knows exactly what he's doing. And whatever we do together and as far as possible in confidence.
Why do people feel like Netanyahu was dead? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why did people automatically say or think that he was killed or he was dead or anything like that? And let me also say this. Somebody said, that's AI. What's AI? Really? So anything that y'all see as far as an interview or proof or anything like that, y'all automatically assume that it's AI? His voice doesn't sound the same. So now y'all are a Netanyahu voice transponder. This is why I don't listen to people a lot of times, because everybody say anything, and it don't matter if the actual reporter from Fox News asked Netanyahu for his comment on what his strategy is, and he gives a response. We automatically say, oh man, that's AI. Everything is AI now. He's not dead. He's dead. He's whatever. It's whatever we think it is, because we've now all become AI experts. All right. But anyways, getting back to what we see, right? Netanyahu is basically saying that he's aligned with whatever Trump decides to do when it comes to the infrastructure. The United States of America, nor does Israel, nor do any of their partners want to participate in destroying the infrastructure in Iran, right? You don't really want to destroy the infrastructure in any city or any country for that matter. And even when you talk about Karg Island, right, where they keep 90% of their oil, and that's basically where they're financially the weakest, they are not destroying the oil, right? They're not destroying the refineries. They're not destroying anything on it. They are, when they go and they hit their inability to be able to transport it back and forth. The United States of America is smart. They're not trying to destroy the country only to have to help rebuild it, or for the Middle East to have to help rebuild it in the future. They're just trying to cripple the regime to prevent them from being able to do the stuff that they wanted to do in the future. They didn't go and destroy Venezuela. They went and got Maduro, right? And then the person that was behind Maduro, the vice president of Venezuela, started participating and acting like they had some sense when it came to America. So they're not trying to destroy the country per se. They're trying to destroy their ability to fight back or to rebuild as far as their regime, so that they'll become a threat, a world threat again.
Together. And
just breaking some news this morning saying that there will be a 5-day delay to any strikes on Iran's power and energy infrastructure. The Israelis not just looking to the east, but also north to the Iran-backed Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. You can see some of the exchanges of fire there in southern Israel, as a top spokesperson for the Israeli military said this about the length of the campaign.
The citizens of Israel, more weeks of fighting against Iran and Hezbollah are expected for us. With each passing day, we are weakening the terror regime more and more. We will not allow the terror regime and its proxies to constitute a threat against Israeli citizens and against the existence of the state of Israel.
Again, though, the headline today, President Trump saying in a post on Truth Social just minutes ago that the United States and Iran have had very good and productive conversations over the past 2 days. And again, President Trump is ordering the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to delay any strikes against Iran's power or energy infrastructure for at least 5 days. Guys?
So we're still waiting, Trey, on any response from the Iranians, because the foreign minister yesterday.
You know what's so funny? I see y'all saying, oh man, we got to stop watching regular TV and stuff like that. I think that you should watch regular TV, and I think that you should look at a combination of all different sources and platform and then come to your own conclusion. You're not going to just say it's AI just because you want to say it's AI. And what I've actually found, to be honest with you, because I spent some time over the weekend watching different people's live streams, nobody in particular, just people. It was even people that I had never heard before, right? I went and researched Tucker Carlson. I watched a little bit of Joe Rogan. I watched a lot of different stuff this weekend. I wanted to really, really see what all they were saying. And you know what they do? You know what they're doing? Honestly, all of your pundits, all of your talking heads, most of the reactors, most of the live streams, most of the people that y'all repeat talking points from, you know what they're doing? They're watching the same videos that we watch, except they watch them on X, formerly known as Twitter. and then they give their analysis based off of something that they heard somebody else say, and that's how they develop their talking points. I watch Al Jazeera. I watch a lot of different places. Most of these guys be wrong. They be dead wrong. I seen somebody repeat a talking point saying that they think that Bibi Netanyahu had passed away, right? So now when Bibi Netanyahu is out and about and he's walking around and he's giving comments about what the Israel strategy is aligning with the United States of America, they don't go back and say, you know what, I was off on that. They just go and move on to the next subject like it was nothing new. I watch RT News. They just move on. They don't come back and say, you know what, I was off. He's not dead. They just keep moving and they go on to the next talking point. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I draw my own conclusions based off of a collection of different things that I see, and some stuff don't make sense and some stuff do make sense, but it don't mean that they're not right on this particular talking point. And then I grab different things and I try to make sense of everything in its totality, and then I come to my own conclusion. They never apologize to the chat. And then I draw my own conclusion. And then I talk to other people that have more insight into a particular subject that I may not have insight into, and I take that into consideration also. I'll take that into consideration also. Anton, y'all were talking about him being passed away all last week. Notice I didn't comment on it. You know why I didn't comment on it? Because I didn't know. So until I got more information, until I got more insight, until I got more information and until I got more insight, I didn't speak on it. Until I got confirmation that either yes, he had passed away, or no, he's still alive. It's nothing for me to talk about because I don't do rumor. I only want to find out what the facts are. Until I get new information to prove those facts wrong. I never commented on it because I didn't know. AD, you should go on Tim Cass' podcast. I was asked to go on a podcast. I was supposed to go on there. It just didn't work out. I'll just leave it at that. It just didn't work out. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. How you said that isn't public data. Well, here's the thing. The first thing that any regime that is against them would want to do is to highlight how they took out whoever the head was. That's the first thing that we did. Was as soon as we took out the head, the supreme leader in Iran, we posted that junk all on the news. Trump was on Truth Social talking about it. That's the first thing. You don't even hear that from the ops. The ops ain't even saying it. So what are y'all talking about? The ops ain't even talking about it. Nobody, no op was like, yeah, man, we posted it. It wasn't on Al Jazeera. It wasn't on RT News. It wasn't no statement that was released. Nothing that was released. Nothing. You heard nothing. It was all rumor and propaganda from people that think that they're experts, but they don't have any news or any proof to say otherwise. So I just wait for the information to come out. And once I have solid information or solid sources that says that, yes, this is what happened, then that's what I'll report. But I'm not just about to throw stuff out there just for the sake of throwing it out there, bro. Honestly. Real talk. So anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's move on to the next thing after I read these super chats. Space is in the building. He was on Frame Fights yesterday. We had a heck of a time on Frame Fights yesterday. Had to cut something out of Frame Fights yesterday, but we had a heck of a time on Frame Fights. You know what I'm saying? Had to remove some footage. So if you wasn't watching live, then you messed up. You should be subscribed to After Hours, and you should be watching Frame Fights on Sundays with us. Spacer says frame fights last night was fire. Thanks for having me. I'm sure the Dusties are salivating at the idea of buying a hat and besmirching the BC. Nah, we're not even gonna entertain it. We're not even gonna entertain it. Messy Mathematician says valuable insight. The only trade-off is an airtight non-compete clause. I wonder how airtight it is. Is it industry specific? Because if it's industry specific, I wouldn't trip about it. That's what gives me pause. They just don't want me to go anywhere else. Well, here's the key. How long does it last after you leave? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. I need to see the details of it. Email it to me or email me the details. Email me the talking points and then we'll get to that. Johnny Mack says, I joined the Patreon. I need that red and black hat. It has my team's colors, Atlanta Falcons and UGA Bulldogs. Did y'all get on Slimmy? Did y'all get on Slimmy? Let's see what else we got going on here. Jeremy Conrad says Trump lying like a mother effer. Iran came out like, what talks? IRCG is not the type to surrender. Israel was over there getting cooked and good for him. Hugh, what up to Hugh? Hugh says it is great that you're showing both sides of these issues. I like to get it from all sides and then come to my own conclusion. So, all right. Moderators, I will give you permission to time out, not censor, not delete. I mean, not ban completely, but time out people who constantly write the same thing over and over and they copy and paste inside of the chat. All right. Because that's one of the rules. We don't censor people, but we do not want people to copy and paste over and over and spamming the chat. All right. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. If somebody is spamming the chat, warn them again. And then, give them a little bit of a sit down. My dog, Johnny Mack, says, saw frame fights live. If you weren't there, you were square. That's a fact. That's a fact. Thank you, Azriel. I appreciate you. All right, because it doesn't make for a good experience when everybody is spamming the chat. We want authentic comments so that people are able to enjoy themselves, What else we want to cover now that we got all of the political nonsense out of the way? Let's see. Brandon Johnson is under fire. Brandon Johnson is under fire. I have seen that. So let me see something. Let's back up for a second.
Sunday morning, new overnight, an arrest has been made in the death of this 18-year-old student who was shot and killed this week while just walking with her friends near her Chicago college campus. Loyola University freshman Sheridan Gorman was trying to catch a glimpse of the Northern Lights early Thursday morning. That's when a masked man just opened fire in her direction. News Nation's Mills Hayes has more.
Good morning, Hannah. Police sources say that a 25-year-old man from the northern Chicago Rogers Park neighborhood was arrested in connection with the murder, and police found a gun on him at the time of the arrest.
The Loyola University community and surrounding neighborhoods on edge after a masked man fired a gun into a group of students hanging out near the beach, killing 18-year-old student Sheridan Gorman, shot in the head. Gorman, originally from New York.
I knew her from my first semester, and obviously I just feel like we lost someone who we admired, who we loved.
A man has been arrested in connection with the murder. Investigators used surveillance cameras in the area to help identify the suspect, who allegedly has a distinct way that he walks.
I think it makes me feel hopeful. Obviously, until it's confirmed, I don't think we're going to be ready to come out here late at night alone anymore. Definitely have as much protection on us as we can in terms of pepper spray and things like that.
Toby Prince Beach Park is a popular area for Loyola University students and people who live in the Rogers Park neighborhood. You can see how many people are out here on this
Saturday, and the masked gunman reportedly jumped from the brush, shooting and killing 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman right here. A memorial now in place. Her family says that she was out here with a group of friends in an area she believed to be safe, trying to catch a glimpse of the Northern Lights just 8 miles north of downtown Chicago. A neighbor telling me she heard it all.
We heard one pop, and then I was just hoping it was fireworks. And then about 20 minutes later, there was some really crazy screaming going on.
The family described Sheridan as someone full of life and love, and saying in a statement, in part, what happened to Sheridan cannot be reduced to the idea of someone being in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is not an abstraction. This is the loss of a daughter, the loss of a sister, the loss of a future filled with milestones that will now never come. Our family is forever changed.
A retired Chicago police detective tells me that detectives will be working to confirm if the gun found on the suspect is the same one used in the shooting. We know that one gun shell casing was found at the crime scene, and police will be working with the Cook County State Attorney's Office to bring charges against this man if they believe he is the one responsible for this murder.
Let me ask y'all a question as we contemplate this young lady's death in Chicago, right? And we've largely not been focusing on Chicago because we've had so many other things that we had to focus on. We've had to focus on what was going on over in Iran. We've had to focus on ICE agents. We've had to focus on Gavin Newsom. We've had to focus on incompetent Congress, TSA agents, so many different things, right? There's been a lot going on, and I haven't had the capacity to focus on how tragic so many situations has been happening in Chicago. Police officers has been getting killed. There's been robberies. There's been a lot of things going on. So just because we haven't been reporting on it does not mean that there is not a lot happening in Chicago. And so the question that we have to ask ourselves before we continue, because of course, Brandon Johnson used to be and is still one of our favorite people that we want to have a conversation about. The question that we have to ask ourselves is this: if you are in Chicago, or if you are a person that looks to travel to Chicago, do you feel safe? Do you feel safe? And it's not just Brandon Johnson, it's the aldermen. It's a lot of different things, right? Do you feel safe in Chicago? If you go out to watch the Northern Lights, do you think that you're going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and get hit by a bullet? I know somebody in my family said, Anton, I'm looking to go to Chicago and take a trip. And the first thing that I said is, for what? You know somebody there? Is it a funeral that you got to go to? And this is the honest to God truth. Is it a funeral over there or something like that? I said, listen, I could think of at least 27 different places that you can go to inside of the United States of America. If you're trying to go to the Mag Mile, then you're going to see 50% vacancy rate. If you're trying to go to Chicago to understand the culture and the architecture, you may be safe, but it's a possibility that you may not be safe. If you've already been there before, then I'm not going to suggest that you just go there for the sake of going there. Yes, I think that downtown Chicago is cool. But the problem is, I don't think that y'all have competent leadership, and I don't want you in something that you can't get out of and at the wrong place at the wrong time. Shout out to my dog, Julian Ray. I appreciate you, Julian Ray, for holding me down with the PayPal. I'm going to read that shortly. I have not been to Chicago since they started letting illegal migrants into Chicago. And Chicago is right up the street from me. It's not abnormal for people in Michigan and in Detroit to take that 4-hour ride, not even catch a plane flight. It's a 40-minute, 45-minute plane flight to Chicago, but you can drive 4 hours and be right there in Chicago. Why would I go to Chicago when I can go right over to Pittsburgh at the same time? Why would I go to Chicago when I can go home, kick it with my homie Slimmy in Cleveland? Why would I go to Chicago when I can go to where the future Bears home and stadium is going to be in Indiana? If they can't even keep their own sports teams, that's a problem. But what they're saying is Brandon Johnson's legacy, as though he ever had one, is under fire because he can't keep crime contained. And this latest shooting from at a Loyola student and killing her is just one part of it.
Today, after being charged with murder, a criminal illegal migrant from Venezuela is due in court today after being charged with murder and other felonies in the death of an 18-year-old college student in Chicago. Sheridan Gorman was shot and killed while walking with friends near campus. Her family saying...
Now, remember, when we looked at the report from the other station, they never highlighted that the person that shot and killed this woman, remember, this is a person. How many people have to die from an illegal migrant, a Venezuelan migrant that wasn't supposed to be here? Because we all know about the Lake and Riley Act. We all know that every year Trump does the fallen angels or the guardian angels, and he honors the families of the people that are killed by migrants that's not supposed to be here in this country. So while Democrats hold up funding for TSA agents, right? And that's why I left this up on the screen for you guys. While Democrats hold up funding for TSA agents, a United States of American citizen and college student that was going to school was killed by a Venezuelan migrant right in Chicago. And of course, we know that Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker, they fought tooth and nail to keep ICE agents outside of Chicago and not to come there. And so Trump said, well, we're going to come there and we're going to do what we want to do anyway, but we're not going to send the National Guard. You got it. You got it. If one death could have been prevented, would have been worth it. If this young lady's death could have been prevented, would it have been worth it? You will never see a Democrat honor her. You're not going to see AOC at her funeral. You're not going to see Mom Donnie paying respects and homage. You're not going to see these raging white liberal women in Chicago giving credence or honoring this young woman that has died at the hands of a Venezuelan migrant. You're not going to see anything. You're not going to see no protests. You're not going to see us say her name. You're not going to see anything. You're not going to see anything. You're never going to ever hear an utter of a... Do you almost know, like, Democrats don't even say Laken Riley's name. Kamala Harris refused to say her name on the campaign trail. Your children's lives are for sale, all so they can push a political agenda. Your safety is for sale, all so they can push a political agenda. And it's not just with illegal migrants, it's the crime in your own neighborhoods. They're monetizing you and using you as leverage in order to get federal funding. But we don't want to have that conversation.
Gorman was shot and killed while walking with friends near campus. Her family saying, quote, Sheridan was 18. She had her entire life ahead of her, her education, her future, her family. The countless lives she would have touched, all of that was taken in a moment. And there's no way to repair the loss. What Sheridan was doing that night, walking with friends near her campus, was normal. It was safe. It is what students do every day. We will not allow this to be dismissed as a wrong place, wrong time. This was not a random misfortune. This was a violent and preventable act. Veteran Chicago reporter William J. Kelly joins us now. William, thanks so much for joining the program. I just want to go through Medina's history. In May 9th, 2023, Medina was apprehended by the Border Patrol and released into the country under the Biden administration. And then June 23, Medina was released again following an arrest for shoplifting in Chicago. What do you make of this?
God bless you, Lawrence. Thank you for.
Well, let's hold off for a second. Let me add one more thing in there. When Trump got into office, Tom Homan and the Trump administration said, listen, we want you guys, right, to give us the location and to work with us, and any migrant, any illegal migrant that commits a crime or has committed a crime, we would love for you guys to help us locate them. And if anybody in the future gets arrested and they are not supposed to be in this country, all we ask is that you guys work with us and help us to deport them so that we can get them back to their country and we can make Venezuela great again, because they was never supposed to be here in the first place. This blood is on Biden and Kamala Harris's hands, right? And you know what J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson said? I don't even want to tell you what they said because I can't curse on the show anymore. They refused. They advocated against it. They stood 10 toes down, and you've seen all of these stupid, paid, raging liberals advocating for it. This could have been prevented. There are so many layers of preventative measures that could have been taken. The first layer is he never was supposed to be here in the first place. The second layer is when he got bust up and then arrested, he should have been deported. The third layer is he should have been deported again when he got arrested again. And now it is escalated to somebody's life being taken. Whose blood is this young woman's on? You know, whose hands is this young woman's blood on? Whose hands? Because if one American citizen is killed and it could have been prevented, whose blood or whose hands should her blood be on? I'm just asking, Danita. I'm not about to curse. I'm chilling. I'm slow motion. I've been on top of it ever since, what was it, Wednesday, Thursday? I'm in my zone, baby. I'm in my zone. I've been on top of it. I'm on top of it, yes. I am able to get my thoughts off and my point across without incendiary words. Whose hands should we tie up and arrest, and who can be charged for it? Because this should have been prevented.
Bringing attention to this issue. No one else will talk about it, apparently. You know, as a lifelong Chicagoan, it breaks my heart. As a Loyola University alum, it breaks my heart, but it also makes me angry because this was the single most avoidable loss of life, Sheridan Gorman, in the history of Chicago. The suspect was well known to police. God bless the Chicago Police Department. They've arrested this guy over and over and over again. Judge Gonzalez let him out so that he could kill, allegedly, you know, so far we're, you know, getting all the details. But, you know, Judge Gonzalez let the suspect out. And now
that's the reporter that be grilling Brandon Johnson and he be asking him questions. That was the one that was asking him about his wife spending all of that egregious amount of money, redecorating it, all of that stuff. So this is the reporter that be on top of it.
He's
William,
being charged.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but so we only have some of the facts in our newsroom, but you're telling me based on the information that you have, he was arrested multiple times in Chicago?
Multiple times. Deportable offenses, Lawrence. These were This is why it was so avoidable. This suspect never should have been in the country to begin with. Obviously, he wouldn't have been able to kill Sheridan if he wasn't in the country. But multiple deportable offenses. And God bless the CPD, the Chicago Police, because they have been arresting this guy, despite the fact that Mayor Johnson is endlessly telling them not to touch the illegals, not to detain them, not to turn them over to ICE. And I've asked Mayor Johnson about this over and over and over again. He just gives me the same dead-eyed, blank stare.
And he does. He really does. So, and this is evidence of it right now. Here, let me share this with you, because there is evidence of this guy grilling him. And so he has been holding Brandon Johnson.
A racist. Mayor Johnson.
Yeah.
Please turn the mic on. Thank you. Real Chicagoans woke up this morning relieved that the Department of Justice is finally investigating your race hustle. As someone who grew up on the south side of Chicago, I've heard a lot of race hustlers in my life, trust me, but they were usually marching around outside of City Hall, which is what makes this so embarrassing and dangerous. Very, very dangerous to the city of Chicago.
Okay, we need the question.
I'm more than happy to ask this question. It's long overdue. For over a year, real Chicagoans, white and black, have been telling me that your Black Power rhetoric is bringing the city backwards from a place that
we need the question
had overcome. You want the question?
Please.
Real Chicagoans want to know, why are you a racist?
Listen, I follow the interaction between this reporter and Chicago's Brandon Johnson, and he has always been consistent in holding it down and being very, very direct and transparent about how he feels about him and why he believes that he's hustling. He's race hustling. And I don't have any disagreement with him whatsoever. But I just want to give y'all a little bit of background information on who it is that we watching right now.
And we have a revolving door now. So people might say, well, at least this suspect is behind bars now. Guess what? There are thousands of Jose Medinas that are in a revolving door that's going around so fast, Lawrence, that I'm surprised that they're not flying out of the jail because this is exactly the policies that got Sheridan Gorman killed.
So this is what the family are saying. We read a little bit of the statement earlier. Here's another portion of it. We are gravely disappointed about the policies and the failures that allow this individual to remain in a position to commit this crime. When systems fail, whether through release decisions, lack of coordination, or unwillingness to act, the consequences are not abstract. They are real. And in our case, they are permanent. This case must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of both state and federal law. There can be no gaps, no shortcuts, no second chances that put others at risk. Accountability must be complete. What's your reaction to that?
Mayor Johnson has put illegal aliens over American citizens, Chicago citizens, real Chicagoans whose hearts are broken for the Gorman family today, by the way, over again and again and again. Mayor Johnson has not even released a statement offering his condolences. His apology would be more appropriate. And maybe it's a good thing because knowing Mayor Johnson the way I know him, his statement would probably be accusing Sheridan of provoking this attack, this crime. You know, there was another young lady, beautiful young lady, just like Sheridan, who was set on fire on the CTA, on public transportation. Mayor Johnson said it was an isolated incident. That is either the coldest or most hateful response I could ever imagine anyone giving, much less the mayor of the city of Chicago. Johnson and his policies have given these illegal aliens the idea that it's not the American dream that you and I were raised to believe, but it's a criminal dream of fraud and rape and robbery and murder. And this is Johnson's legacy.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And William, you've been reporting on this for a while.
Yes.
I just wish people would be listening there. Thanks so much for joining the program.
God bless you.
And I think that Brandon Johnson, you know what else we need to start doing? We need to start holding these people accountable for being racist. I don't know why y'all so scared to call black people out on their racism. I don't know why y'all so scared to call black people out on their racism. When you see it, say something. Ain't that what they say? See something, say something. Why are y'all so afraid to address these people appropriately and call them out on their BS? When you see people that are racist, when you see people that are pushing an agenda, when you see people that are lying, when you see people that move a certain way, you should address them appropriately. They discriminate, they racist, and I don't know why y'all sitting here feeling though like y'all have to tiptoe around these people. Is BS. It's nonsense. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let me read a couple of these super chats. Matter of fact, let me acknowledge somebody real quick. Hold on. Let me make sure I acknowledge somebody. Want to acknowledge my PayPal friends also. So I got to make sure that I give y'all some credit. Shout out to Julian Ray. I appreciate you, Julian Ray. Thank you for holding me down, and thank you for adding value into my life. Y'all out here, y'all all over the world showing me love. Shout out to Julian Ray. Thank you, my friend. I also want to say what up to Robert Hotz. Shout out to Robert Hotz. He says, hi, Anton. I love your videos. You're speaking from the heart. Keep doing what you're doing. Shout out to Robert Hotz. I appreciate you, Robert Hotz, for holding me down. Thank you. And everybody that show love on the platforms. Mr. Chuck Duke says, hey, Tom, where my hat? I know you a little. This is Chuck. Yo, Slimmy. I told y'all got to get on Slimmy head top. Y'all need to be holding Slimmy accountable. If we get on Slimmy's head this week, then I'm sure that he can drop him this week. TS Car Wash and Detail Services, AD, you got them J tickets at Yankee Stadium. They went on sale today. Let's see what the J, what is it on Ticketmaster? Let's see what we working with on Ticketmaster. Jay-Z. Yankee Stadium selling fast. It's both days. So one day is Friday, the next day is Saturday. So if you was to go, probably go on Saturday, the second show, right? 2 tickets. Are people already reselling them? I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. Best view. Really? $4,300? Is this what y'all doing, bro? A5. Which is A5? What is A5? Let me see what A5 is. A5 is right here. This what y'all charging? $3,500, $4,300. That's crazy, yo. That's insane. Bleachers left. What is bleachers left? What does the bleachers left look like? $5,000 for the bleachers left. $5,900 for the bleachers right. Somebody said, you know, they Klarna balling. You can click it to see the view that you would get? Really? You think so? Let me see. I don't think so. No. You can't view it to see the view that you would get. Nah. $5,900, right? Even in the nosebleeds, y'all paying $900, $2,100. Yeah, this is all re-rock prices too. This is re-rock price. All right. All the way up here is $818. Y'all charging $818 for the bleachers? Get out of here. Listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I love Jay. I absolutely love Jay 100%. I'm not sure that there is an artist outside of maybe Sade that I would be willing to pay $10,000 for tickets. There is nobody. I'm not even sure that I would pay that for Sade. No. Is there an artist outside of Sade that I would even consider paying $10,000 for seats? Nope, not Anita Baker. Nope. Nope. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. To be honest with y'all, I would say that the best concerts to go to is the underground ones where you're paying $40, $30, $20 cover. You go to these underground concerts or you go to these concerts that's at these theaters or whatever, it'd be jumping, bro. It'd be a heck of a time. It don't even really matter because you only pay $20, $30, and $40 for your tickets, and it'd be jumping. It'd be getting to it, bro. Honest to God. Like, the big concerts is cool. The big headliner concerts is cool. But them ones that be in the basements, bro, of these places, of these theaters and stuff, they jump. That's what I do. I go to the $40 concerts, and we get it in, and we have a good time. Don't nobody even be knowing who you are, bro. You go to these big major concerts, it's the who's who, it's the what's what, it's all of that stuff. Like, I'm going to I'll be at the Lakers game, courtside, of course. The biggest prime seats because Tom Dog is the biggest. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be Lakers courtside, but I'm there to see Luka and LeBron. This might be the final time that I get to see LeBron in a Lakers jersey. I'm going to see Luka and LeBron. I'm not going for none of this other bull crap. But I already know that it's going to be a lot of clout out there. So I'm going to have to navigate through the clout, probably have to get there early just so I can see Luka and LeBron. Thank God I ain't got a live stream tonight. I can actually watch the whole game today. Got to do some videos afterwards, but I don't have to live stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see Jay, but I don't want to see Jay bad enough to pay $10,000. I'm paying $10,000 to go see Jay. Man, it was back in the day. I would have paid maybe $10,000 to see a Canelo and Mayweather. But are you going to the World Cup? I want to go. I went to a great concert for Anderson .Paak a couple of years. You know who else is going on tour? Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is dope. Sade is a Nigerian. That's a big no-no. That's a no-no for you. I'm going to see Sade. I don't care what you're talking about. For sure, AD, understandable. Can you do a vlog for us? Yeah, I can do a vlog. Do a vlog for but I'm only gonna release it on the Patreon. If I do, I'm not gonna do no vlogs for the general public. I'll drop one on the Patreon for y'all. Absolutely. Let me get my cameras out. I gotta get my cameras together, get my vlogging on. I'm not focusing on so much on catching up. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said New Edition, Boyz II Men and Tony Braxton is touring together. Yeah, that's a little bit not my speed. Rita like that type of stuff. That's not my thing. So I'll send Rita. I'm not gonna probably go to nothing like that. That's not my thing. All right, I want to get into something else really quickly. Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. Yeah. These other girls don't know how to act. Take it to the bridge. Go ahead, babe. Bring to the back. Sexy on that. Next thing on the dirty babe.
Stops because you're keep veering off to the left, and then you're not stopping at the stop signs.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Is this your vehicle? Whose vehicle is it?
Yeah, it's just a rental.
It's a rental? Okay. Do you have any registration with it? Do you know if they can put it in the glove box?
Let me check.
How long are you renting it for?
Just for a couple of days.
What are you visiting?
Yeah, I'm on tour.
What are you doing?
I'm on a world tour.
A what?
A world tour.
Doing what?
Hard to explain. A world tour I'm Justin Timberlake.
What's your name?
Justin Timberlake.
You are Justin Timberlake?
Yeah.
Do you have a license with you?
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm starting to get aggravated with these police officers, and I'm a huge fan of police officers. I think that most of them are good guys. I think that most of them are doing the right thing. I think that most of them is just straight up and down, and they're not trying to gain no clout. Maybe it's the younger ones. Maybe it's the younger white ones. I don't know what it is. But for whatever reason, I think that these police officers are being intentionally a-holes, and I don't like it. I don't like it. They're removing the human aspect of things because, bro, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Why are you playing games? He said I'm on a world tour. He said and I'm giving Justin Timberlake a little bit of credit right here. Is he wrong if he was drunk driving? Absolutely. But see, I remember what happened to the basketball player. Somebody tell me about his name in the chat. Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks. I remember what happened with Dylan Brooks. The cops was just being extra. They're being very, 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 very extra. And I don't understand it. It's like, yo, can we do our job and keep it moving? If you're going to arrest me, arrest me. Why all of the ribbing? Why all of the extra? Why all of that other stuff? You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that I'm starting, like, you know, that kind of aggravates me. It's like, why are you being, you know who he is. You're on a what? A world tour. What is that? What is a world tour? What's your name? You're who? Man, you could have asked for a license, registration, and insurance and figured all of that out for yourself right then and there. But see, all of this extra for the camera so that y'all can say, hey, man, tell your homeboy to pull up the body cam so that he can drop the video. All of this extra is too much, in my opinion. I don't like that. I think that this is corny.
And then when we do this, just like you're doing right now, arms, feet together, arms by your side. You're doing it just now. I'm just going to re-explain it before we continue, okay? Arms by your side, feet together, and then you're going to keep your head straight and just keep your head straight. Only follow with your eyes, okay?
Okay.
You understand that? All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So left foot on the line. Left foot on the line first. And then you're going to put your right foot in front of your left. Stay just like that. Okay? You're going to be heel to toe like this. Heel to toe. Put your left foot on the line. Yep. You're going to have your right foot in front of your left, heel to toe.
Facts, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, guess what I'm never going to do? I don't care what you suspect me of. I don't care what happens. I don't care what you think my thoughts are. Guess what I'm never, ever going to do? I'm never, ever, ever going to go through the humiliation ritual of what you're going to arrest me for in the first place. Because if you got me doing that, then you already think that I'm drunk. You already think that I'm, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Do what you got to do. I'm going to get my lawyer. We're going to sort this out in the morning and I'll be out of jail in no time. I'm not going through the humiliation ritual so you can record me so you could try to catch me stumbling, doing this junk, all of this junk the whole time. Do the follow the light. Hey, man, follow the light. With your eyes. I'm not doing all of that, bro. I'm not doing none of it. None of it at all. I'm not doing none of that, bro. I'm not taking your breathalyzer. I'm not doing nothing. Not one thing. I'm not giving blood. I'm not doing nothing. Hey, man, if you're going to arrest me, let's just arrest me because I'm not doing nothing. And I know that a lot of these celebrities, they be trying to be nice because they know they on body cam and all of that stuff. Just take me off, bro. I got lawyer money. I got bail money. And I'll be out in the morning and we'll sort this out however we got it sorted out. But I'm not doing that, bro. This, honestly, I think that this is a humiliation ritual. The only thing we watch cops for back in the day is to see how they get humiliated and to see how stupid they are.
So we're going to put our left foot on the line first. Put your right foot in front of your left, heel to toe. And you can stay just like that, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So this is going to be a series of small 9 heel-to-toe steps.
And don't get me wrong. No, you're right. You're right, Truth Seeker. When you drink and drive, you sign up for the worst. I'm not absolving them of responsibility. If you drink and drive, you should be arrested. I want y'all to understand the context. Two things can be true at the same time. If I get arrested and I'm responsible for whatever I get arrested for, I take responsibility for getting arrested. I'm not going through your whole shindig though. I'm too grown for that. I'm 40, not 20, not 18. I'm not disagreeing that if you do something wrong, then you should be held accountable for that wrongdoing. But I'm not going through a humiliation ritual in the process. That's all I'm saying. Let's just get it over. Let's get it popping. Let's find out what we got to do.
I will demonstrate this like you're doing right now, like this. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9, followed by a series of small steps around. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9 back. This is going to be heel to toe, so you're going to be clicking your heels as you're going, arms by your side. While you're doing this, you're going to look down at your toes.
Guys, I'm just following my friends back to my house. I'm not doing anything. I'm just following my friends back to my house.
Will you do these tests?
Sure. And then just walk. I'm sorry.
Ready?
I'm a little nervous.
Left, right foot in front. You're gonna look down. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, okay? Hang on. Let him tell you when to go. He's gotta tell you when to start, okay?
Sorry.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
No, I want to make sure we want to make sure you do this right.
Right foot in front of your left.
Is this my line?
Perfect. Yep.
Whichever imaginary line you make, that's the line you're gonna walk.
1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000.
What is this? What? Honestly, some of the stuff that they be saying, and I'm not saying that he not drunk or whatever, I don't know. Honestly, some of the stuff that they have him doing, I get confused. They do all of these directions. They give you all of these confusing directions a lot of times. Hey, man, count to 5, 1,000, be on the line, right, left, jump. Left foot, let's stomp. Cha-cha again. Left foot, let's stomp. Hands on your knees. Slide to the right. That's all it sounds like to me. I would be cha-cha sliding out there. Slide to the right. Slide to the left. Crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. How low can you go? Can you go down low? All the way to the floor? I'm not doing all of this, bro. I don't even care. Just take me to jail, bro. I'm not doing all of this.
Remember, just continue. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Gotcha.
Sorry. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. You want me to keep going?
Yep. Yeah. Until I tell you to stop. Yep.
Okay. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5,
They be
1,000.
more concerned about ending up on body cam than they are jail. They know.
By the way, these are like.
Doesn't Timberlake ain't gonna do no jail.
These are like really hard tests.
So the way this device works, you just put your lips over it and you blow into it like you're blowing a balloon. No?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
Hey, Justin Timberlake. After all of that, they gonna try to give him the breath. They could have gave him the breathalyzer test in the beginning, and they tried to give him the breathalyzer test. He said, "Listen, I might be a little drunk, but I wasn't born yesterday. Nah, we're not gonna be doing a breathalyzer test." He ain't that drunk. The only time that you take a breathalyzer test is in the case of Dylan Brooks, where Dylan Brooks knew he wasn't drunk, blew all zeros, and was like, yep, we're going to go ahead and get this. If you've been drinking anything, nope. Nah, we not doing none of that. No, not today, big dog. We good. Now, the real question that we need to ask ourselves is this, though. Why is Justin Timberlake driving down the highway by himself?
Test.
So the way this device works, you just put your lips over it and you blow into it like you're blowing a balloon. No?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Why is Justin Timberlake
All right. At this point, based upon the observations,
on a world tour?
Suspicion of driving while intoxicated.
Why is he on a world tour driving by himself drunk? Now, again, you can't absolve responsibility for the person that is driving drunk. It is his fault definitively. Somebody should be handling this. Somebody should be with this dude at all times on a world tour. So, in a different city in a rental car? Come on, family. Come on, man. He shouldn't even allow for that type of thing to happen. Honestly, it sounds crazy to me when I see these celebrities getting caught up with this dumb junk and you following a friend home and you just got done performing at a stadium the day before. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. When I go to Vegas, I don't even really drive, honestly. I'll be Ubering it everywhere. I Uber to the grocery store. I Ubered to the Walmart pharmacy one time. I Ubered over to the movie theater. Man, I'm not driving. It's no point. That's what I came here to party for. Nah, dog. Nah. We're not doing that. We're not doing none of that.
Partner here, I don't know the details, obviously. I wasn't the one to stop you. My partner here observed you, some kind of traffic violation, started a traffic stop, believed you have impairment, did a series of routine tests on you, right? Field sobriety tests, okay? You performed poorly on those, okay? Based off of his observations, you are intoxicated.
Okay.
So you were under arrest for DWI, okay?
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Hey, I got to give Justin Timberlake some credit because he's not even tripping. Like, he ain't pulled the "do you know who I am" card. He ain't pulled none of that. He was just like, yep, all right, cool. Cool. And honestly, I think that a lot of these cops know that they be on they on body cam and they know that they're going to be on body cam and stuff. And so they be doing the most and they doing extra. AD, do you always bring your crew with you? I don't know what that means. What do you mean by bringing my crew with me? But my daughter, my girl, security. Yeah, my daughter, my girl, and security. Absolutely. 100%. That's my crew. My crew is my family. My brothers, my mom. I usually find some bag chasers there as usual. I'm a grown man. I'm not a rapper, bro. I don't have no entourage. My entourage is my people, my family. Somebody said, Anton, I thought you'd keep a gang of women with you. That too. That shit ain't, that thing ain't changed. Excuse me. God ain't done with me yet. That too. My lifestyle hasn't changed. Just the way that I allow y'all in it has changed. Now you couldn't handle yourself and you couldn't handle the fleet. And because you couldn't handle the fleet, now we got to move a little bit more inconspicuous. Now we got to take the back doors. Now we got to, you know what I'm saying, go under masks, all of this stuff because y'all couldn't handle it. And y'all was expecting me to simp. And I know that y'all expecting for me to lose my relationships and stuff. That's not going to happen either. And so now we got to move a little bit differently. Yes, I'm going to still keep a fleet with me. I'm going to still keep something soft with me. 85% of the people that work for me are women. And they beautiful. I still keep them used. I still keep women all around 100% of the time. Nothing is going to change. Like, I don't change the way I move. I change what access you have into me. So now we got to move a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody says, come on, AD can't be with the women if we brothers in Christ, and if you claim Christian, you could try to hold me to whatever you try to hold me to. What did I do wrong? Does anybody got some footage of me cheating or something like that? Have you seen me kissing somebody or something like that? Listen, bro, my crew just so happened to be the Dora Milaje, whatever they was in Wakanda. What's some black women in Wakanda that was all surrounding Black Panther? What's the name of them? What's the name of the women in Wakanda? The Dora Milaje. That's my crew. I don't want to hang out with a bunch of men. I don't want a bunch of men around me. I like having something soft around me. And so let me ask you a question, Mark Hargrove. Let me ask you a question. If my people and the people that are closest to me are happy, comfortable, and they not tripping about it, and I don't have no problems whatsoever in my household, what do you care? What do you care? What is it to you who I move around with? That's what I'm trying to understand. What is it to you? Because I'm going to just tell you, 90% of the time, and I don't have to explain this, but I'm going to say it to y'all. 90% of the time, my girl is with me. I just don't have to show her on camera to validate it for you. So I'm never going to do something to satisfy what you think I should do and what I should present to you. She with me 90% of the time when I have a whole bunch of other women around me. So let me ask you a question. What is it to you? That's what I be trying to figure out. Why are y'all so concerned? Why are y'all so concerned with what I have going on? Matter of fact, Jules, shout out to Jules. Jules has known me for the better part of how long, Jules? Jules, you've known me for at least what? At least 20 plus years. And no, stop trying to create stuff. I don't have an open marriage. That's not a real thing. Nobody can touch my chick ever in life. Jules has known me for the better part of 20 years. I am no different than when I was 20 than who I am at 40. You've known me for 28 years, Jules? So Jules has known me for 28 years. I am no different. He knows my wife. He knows my daughter. We work together. We used to be in a plant together. The same way I was at 20, the same way I was at 18, is the same way I am now. Y'all, listen, if y'all henpecked, somebody said, AD, what do you think of open marriages? I think that they're horrible. Never, ever participate in being in an open marriage. I think that that's stupid. Because y'all are being controlled in your household and you can't move like the man that you're supposed to be, that's not my problem. And I don't judge you for it. If you want to be held down, if you are required to be home at a certain time, if you can't control, if you got to be required to always be told what to do if you got to meet the expectation of whatever it is that your girl or your wife or your girlfriend, whatever it is, got going, that's you. And God bless you for it. That's not my story. I move and I do what I want to do when I want to do it, and nobody except for God can tell me what to do. Now, everybody has a choice. And for whatever reason, the people love me and adore me, and they love the choices that I give them in order for them to be in my life. If that's your story, if you want to live this life of oppression and you can't do what you want to do because you want to use the excuse that you're a Christian as to why it is that you can't do what you want to do as far as how you're supposed to control your household, I'm not no simp. I'm not no sucker. I ain't never going to subject myself to the will of a woman, but everybody around me is always going to be well taken care of. I love my situation. I love what I got going on. But I mean, like I said, y'all subscribe to this idea of what these women in society has told y'all that y'all supposed to do and how y'all supposed to move. I ain't like that. I ain't never been like that. My parents didn't teach me to be like that. I'm not like y'all. So good luck with y'all. Good luck with that. God bless you. And I don't need no brother. Listen, you could be whatever you want to call me. I'm your brother in whatever. I don't know you. I ain't never met you before. I don't know nothing about what you got going on. You could be beating the crap out of your chick. You ain't my brother in nothing. You ain't my brother in nothing. I'm a solo artist. I answer to God and I pray to God through Jesus in Jesus' name. All of the rest of y'all, I don't care what you say you are. I don't care if you think you Christian, Muslim, and none of that. I don't know you, homie. I'm your brother in Christ. Man, you ain't never met me before. I'ma hold you accountable. No, but I know what you can hold. You can't hold me accountable. Can't nobody hold me accountable. Only God can hold me accountable. You can't hold me accountable. What's wrong with you? I'ma hold you accountable. Yeah, okay. Thank God that I've turned a new leaf in a way that I don't curse and stuff like that. And I'm focusing on being a better person. But nobody can hold me accountable. I'm going to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it because I write checks. I don't ask nobody for nothing. I write the checks. I write the checks. I sign them. I make sure that everything is taken care of. Oh, no, I'm not going to curse. I'm chilling. But like I said, if y'all want to go out here and y'all want to be handpicked and y'all want to be told what to do and you got to be to bed at a certain time and you only got a little piece of the house, a man cave in a basement that's cold and the temperature is always colder downstairs and the only time you get comfort is in the summertime because they won't let you turn the heat up in your own house, that's a you problem. If you're sharing bills, then you're not even the king of your own household. If you have to ask her for half in order to pay the rent money, I could see why she wants some dominion over what you got going on. That's a you problem. You don't have full authority because you have to ask for half. She got to pay her own car note. She got to pay her own insurance. She got to stay working until she retire. She don't have no choice. Of course she going to be looking at you like you a fool. Of course she going to be looking at you like you crazy. You can't tell nobody what to do when you need them. How you going to tell somebody what to do when you need them? Of course they're going to treat you like a partner. Of course they're going to call you a partner. Of course they're going to want you to consult with them on every decision that you make. I just buy stuff. If I make a move, if I make an investment, I just do it. I don't need no authorization. I don't call nobody for permission. I just do what I want to do. They don't know what a car note look like. They don't know what a bill look like. They don't know what rent look like. They don't know what property taxes look like. When they see mail, they just put it on the table. If it's not from Amazon, from something that they ordered personally, then they don't think about it. It's not a thing. They don't think about it. Honestly. And so that's what my life is like. Everybody play their role, everybody play their position, and nobody is tripping. When we go to the game tonight, we're going to be sitting courtside. Everybody, my whole people, my brother, whoever it is with me, we going to be courtside. Wherever I sit, they sit. That's the difference. So when you the boss and when you do when you take care of business like that, when everybody that flies with you flies first class, when nobody has to worry about whether or not they're going to eat tomorrow or if they're going to get kicked out of their house, when nobody worries about working, my girl hasn't worked in 20 years, bro. 20 years. She hasn't worked in 2 decades. She don't know what a job look like. She don't know what a paycheck look like. She don't know what a bill look like. All she know is she get in her car and it go, and when she goes shopping, she can buy what she want. I don't. Of course y'all gonna get held accountable. Yes, you're gonna get held accountable. And you want to know if a girl is my girl? You want to know if she on my team? If you want to know if a girl has been certified as an AD girl, I could tell you whether she is or not. You want to know? Because she gonna have to have a Rolex on her arm. If she don't have a Rolex on her arm, I don't care what she say. I don't care what story she tell. I don't care what platform she go to. I don't care about none of that stuff. She's not my girl. Because she's going to have a signature rollie with an AD symbol engraved on the back, straight from the manufacturer, and it's going to say AD on it. If she don't have that, then she's not mine. If she can't show you that, she's never, ever, ever, ever been in a position to say, that's an Anton girl. Just telling you the truth. All right? Make sure you hit all right, Pumpkin. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. And for all of these guys, man, y'all gonna have to get y'all some money. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you start really getting money in real life, you ain't really paying attention to what nobody else got going on like that, unless it's for content. Like when you really getting money, you only connect with other people and focus on leveling up with other people that really get money. You don't really pocket watch no more. You don't really care. Like, and when other people get money, when you got money, you congratulate other people that get money because you're happy for them. When you're not under a state of duress, then you have a different perspective on how you treat people. Honestly, I know that it's a lot of people that is really struggling, or a lot, not even gonna say people, guys. I can tell when guys are used to being broke, or when guys are really struggling, or when they got that afterpay payment that's about to come out, or when they got to go and get that payday loan. I can always tell, bro, honestly, because you move differently. You so busy focused, man, if I had this, man, if I had that. Now, it's not if I had it, it's when I get it. It's not an if, it's a when. You know what? I like that. How can we make that adjustment? What is going to take in order for us to get that? That's the conversations that we have. That's the conversations that we have. Somebody said Rolex costs $3,000 to $4,000. No, that's a Folex. That's not a Rolex. That's not a Rolex. That's a Folex. All right, I want to look at one more thing. I was gonna go into this, but you know what? I might shelve it for tomorrow because I need to prepare for some other stuff. Arrest made in the killing of Loyola student. I want to get into this Pat Bev situation. I don't know if y'all familiar with Pat Bev. We can talk about it. So Pat Beverly said that his former co-host or whatever he actually stole from him or something like that. I'm gonna read the super chats in a second. I wanted to get into this conversation really quickly. I don't know if y'all familiar with this. Pat Bev, former NBA player, or is he not still in the league? Pat Bev ain't in the league no more, is he?
And I'm back. Pat Bev is back. I'm back in front of the cameras. Everyone that reached out, thoughts and prayers to the family. Thank you so much. It means a ton. Man, I missed out on so much basketball, but it's still so much to talk about.
You stole his show?
I know you guys are wondering. Barstool, Hoop and Hollering, we go dive into that. Obviously, Chris Paul retiring, we go dive into that. Trae Young, Washington Wizards, have to dive into that, right? Just a ton of topics that we could talk about, but I'm just so happy to be back in front of the camera. Tune in to the episode.
Oh, he started a brand new channel.
My feelings towards Barstool. As you guys know, that I'm currently not on Hooping and Hollering right now. It can't.
Hey, why is Pat Bev sitting like that though, on the low? And I'm not trying to diss Pat Bev. I actually like him as a basketball player. I like his commentary. Is this a Chicago thing? Because Obama sit like that. What is up? What is up with this? Like, y'all know y'all can reshoot these video scenes if you look at it and you say, you know what, I don't like the way I looked on there. I'm giving the wrong impression. Y'all don't have to sit like this. Y'all know that, right? Honestly, is this an Obama thing or what, bro? What the hell is going on right now? I don't get it, man. And it's not even, look, it's not even about if you cross your legs like that. Because of course you can cross your legs with the one that's just sitting on top of your other leg, or you can cross it all the way over like an X, like this. You could do it like you could do it like this to where your leg is sitting on top like this, or you could do it like this. And that's the way that Pat Bev got it. He got it like that, right? So it's not so much about the fact that he's crossing it like that, but it's almost like they hit it with an arch on the side like this. Because like it's not even like I'm going to sit like that with my hands on top of my leg or whatever. It's like they put an arch to it. And I don't know what that is. I think that's a Chicago thing. Yeah, it's a hip poke. Like they closing a refrigerator with their hip or something like that. Like they get whatever they get out of the refrigerator and they got both hands full and then they hit it with their hip. I think it is a Chicago thing. Gotta be a Chicago thing, man. I see so many Chicago dudes do that, man. I see so many Chicago kids do that, dog. I don't know what that is. Anyways, let's get to the thick of it, y'all. Just a little jokey joke.
Came as a surprise a little bit, right? Actually shocked a little bit due to the fact that this show was the Pat Bev pod with Ron less than 6 months ago. So I get a call, right, through this whole process, right, this whole case process, right? I haven't been able to like really post anything with Barstool, you know, just until everything was over with. Dave has done a phenomenal job being communication-wise, right? Allow me to still be with Barstool, but, you know, basically until I get my shit in order, you feel me? Like, come back when you're not hot type of vibes. And I understood it. So now that
Can we say something else while we trying to figure out what's going on with Pat Bev channel and the fact that he got his channel stolen or whatever, or the show stolen or whatever? Can we admit that it's a huge gap and it's a difference, especially when we're looking at people on the solo tip, because it's a lot easier for people to play off of each other and to have a co-host or to have somebody help host your show where you got other people around you and you got other people to play off of. Can we come to the conclusion that it's a gap between real content creators and people that's been doing this YouTube thing and this content creation thing for a long time, and these athletes that come into our space? And I'm not tripping. I don't have no problem with athletes coming into the space and podcasting and creating their shows and all that. But can we acknowledge the gap? It's like this. It's wide. It's a gulf. We not the same. None of us is the same. And I'm keeping it 100. I'm standing up for all of the content creators. And again, I think that it's cool when other people come into the sphere, come into the space and all of this. But man, these guys, they words is long. I don't know what they getting to. I don't know what's going on right now, bro. It's a massive gap between content creators and individual people that play certain sports that's trying to get into the game.
Everything has been, the truth came out and everything is over with. I'll call Dave, like, okay, cool. It's time to get back on the pod. Like, what's up? You feel me? And Dave say, have you talked to the guys? And I'm like, okay. I don't know why I got to talk to them, but all right. I hit the group chat. Mind you, through this whole time, right? And I don't want to harp too much on this, but through this whole time, like, I ain't heard a word from Ron. Right? Not one word. Not, is you okay? Is family okay? Is mom okay? Is sister okay? Not a word. Right? And I'm an emotional type of dude, so y'all let me know if I'm in my feelings or not. So Christmas come, and I know I'm gonna get a Merry Christmas from him. And you feel me? I wait, and I don't get, and I hit him like, yo, Merry Christmas. Like, hope the fam is well. He hit me back like, oh man, was caught up with the family. Yeah, hope all is well. Mind you, I haven't talked to Ron on the phone since this situation has happened. Not one time. You talking about this? Like, me and Ron go deep. Like, you feel me? Like, I was there when his kids got baptized. So like, excuse me if I feel some type of way, right? Not from Barstool, just from the homie. This was the Pat Bev and Ron. We got 278,000 subscribers together. We got a YouTube plaque together. You feel me? So like, this my dog. Like,
hey, let me ask y'all a question, because I might be a little bit far removed because I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time. What do y'all think that the value is of a YouTube channel? What do y'all think that the value is of a YouTube channel? And when I say what the value is of a YouTube channel, I look at different people, right? I look at Pat Bev, I look at Joe and Jada, I look at Joe Budden, I look at academics, I look at All the Smoke, I look at Gil's Arena, I look at everybody. What's the value of a YouTube channel, right? How do you determine what something is worth? Content and monetization and audience, financially. I don't know. However y'all want to view it. I just want to get y'all general opinion. The channel itself. How do y'all view the value of what a channel is, right? He said they had 270,000 subscribers or something like that. How do y'all view it? How do y'all look at it? What do y'all see when y'all see something? Like, let's say, for example, you go to somebody's channel and they got 278,000 subscribers. How do you view them? Do you look at them and you say, and this has nothing to do with Pat Bev, I'm just curious on what y'all thoughts. Do y'all look at somebody, you go to a channel and you say, okay, they got 278,000 viewers, 278,000 subscribers, and they got decent interaction. Are you like, yeah, they moving, they got motion? Are you like, oh man, they almost there? What's the threshold? Like when they cross 50,000 subscribers, 40,000, 30,000, 100,000? How do y'all slot people? This is a question that I actually have for after hours. I think I want to ask this for after hours, right? How do y'all view, how does the general public, because it's different for me, I guess, because I'm in it and I'm a part of it. So I don't look at it in the same way and from the same lens that everybody else. It's almost like if you're an NBA player, but you're on the court every day and you've been playing basketball all your life, you don't see the game from the same lens as a person that's watching it on the sidelines because you're in the game most of the time, right? Terrell says 270,000, that's a lot of subscribers. 100K, 270 in the finance industry, I would say valuable. If you're reviewing anime, less valuable. Let me see what else y'all got going on. Let me see what else y'all saying. It's all slack without a plaque. Depends on the revenue. People can subscribe and not continue to watch. I go by views per video and views throughout their whole channel. When you get 100 million views, you on top. 278,000 followers. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. People are listening. What's the channel about? Okay. So when y'all see people over 500 in the live chat is moving, I agree 100%. It's just like a job over 100, 150K. You on 250K plus you got motion. All right, I'm feeling y'all. I'm with that. I'm with that 100%. I'm with it 100%. I actually am on the same page as most of y'all. I think that when you see certain amount of subscribers, that it entices you to get curious about the channel or you want to see what's going on. So I'm with it. I think engagement is obviously important also, but I feel you.
I thought, like, you feel me? This is my dog. So I hit the group like, yo, I'm back, boys. I'm ready to work. You feel me? Like, man, stuff is past, man. Y'all been holding down. I'm ready to get back to work. Ron reached out to me, man. I know you're glad this is over, this. I'm like, all right, it's okay. When do we start? And then they go quiet. And I'm like, they like, have you talked to anybody? I'm like, talk to anybody? Like, I talked to Dave. Dave say, have I talked to y'all? I talked to y'all. Y'all tell me, have I talked to somebody else? So me and Dave get on the phone. And Dave, shout out to Dave too, man. Solid dude since day one. Like from him finding me into where I am right now, media-wise, he's been a phenomenal, right? I talked to Dave, and Dave hit me like, yeah, the guys wanted me to reach out and tell you that, they want to keep going how the party is now. You've been gone for 3 months, and they want to, just keep that going right now. And I'm like, what guys? Like, what guys are you talking about? Like, he's like, the guys from the pod. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? Like, why hasn't, you feel me? I'm talking about producers. Like, I'm talking about I got people who produce the show currently. I had them sleeping on my couch in my house, bought them beds, had my chef cook them meals. Like, I still ain't heard from them. Like, excuse me if I feel some type of way, y'all. Excuse me. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. You feel me? I'm wrong a lot. But I'm a real dude. So y'all let me know if I'm wrong or not for feeling this type of way. I say, Dave, why are you telling me this? Like, why ain't nobody from the pod like telling me this? Yeah, they told me to reach out to you, right? And I'm like, okay, so what you saying? Like, what you saying? I'm just saying that guys don't want you on the pod. I'm like, but we was just doing numbies on the pod, right? We was me, J. Will, Wrong, first episode 119,000, second episode 94,000. Like, you feel me? Like, we've been doing numbies. Like, I say, all right, cool, right? Cool. And Dave told me top it off about 30 minutes, right? We hang up. I hit Wrong, text him. Like, damn, dog, like, you could have warned me about the bullet I was about to get, right? I thought we was friends, right? I thought we was, you feel me? Like, but regardless, it's always love, Wrong. You know the vibes. Like, you know the vibes. You feel me? Like, you Brody. To me still, right? Like, you know the vibes. Wrong hit me back like, yeah, man, I just found out 15 minutes ago before you talked to Dave. Like, I guess they made a business decision. So I'm really confused right now, right? I'm really confused. If we live in a place where it's innocent until proven guilty and I'm innocent, I don't understand why. Like, but that's a whole nother story. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm not with on the pod right now on Hooping and Hollering. But it's no.
That was the name of the pod. It's called Hooping and Hollering. Let me see. This is the Pat Bev one. Former NBA player Jason Williams teams up with Rome to give you an unfiltered look into the NBA lifestyle and everything happening across the league. Videos.
Bam Adebayo is a great player. 83 punts is 83 punts. But he's not anywhere near a conversation with Kobe Bean Bryant.
So it say this is Hooping and Hollering by Barstool Sports. Let me say this again, and I'm going to say this. So basically what Pat Bev is communicating, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, what Pat Bev is communicating right now is that he was kicked off of his own channel that he feel like he should have ownership or some ownership in, right? And because it's sponsored and ran and there's, subsidized by and owned by Barstool Sports, he's feeling like, this is messed up. And this is the reason why he created his own channel called Pat Bev, where he's trying to get it out the mud, right? All right, cool. So here's my thought on this, because I just wanted to get the general idea of what was going on. And then, after that, they had episode 16, they had Gilbert Arenas on. Okay, cool. All right, so everybody got a pod.
Right.
Everybody is podding. That's what Pat Bev is kind of speaking about. All right, so now that we got the general idea, is that the gist, y'all? The gist of it? All right, cool. So here's my thoughts on this whole situation. I've been saying this since the beginning of time. I've been saying this since the beginning of time. I've been saying this since the beginning of time. It is the reason why I
Hello.
Hey, this is I'm on the live stream. You busy?
I'm getting my hair done. What's going on?
Just ask you a quick question. So the last big sponsor that came to me and they offered me whatever it is that they offered me. What did I tell them? What was my answer?
You talking about the one that we was just talking about the other day?
Yeah, yes.
You said no.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
I will never, ever, let me not say never. Up to this point in my life, I get so many offers. I get sponsorship offers. I get bigger platforms that ask me, can they be a part of what I got going on? I get all of the gambling companies that come in on a regular basis. I tell them no all the time. And one of the reasons that I tell them no is because I am not going to ever, well, again, let me not say never, but up to this point, as far as I can do, I'm not going to sell out my platform. I'm not going to give nobody control. I'm not going to let my fate be determined by whether or not I'm rocking with them or whatever. I am willing to bet on myself until the right deal, and if it never come, I'm doing just fine about running my own ship. I'm 100% independent. I'm 100% independent. There is not a soul on this earth that owns 1% of my company, 1% of my platforms, or anything like that. Why would I give somebody control over my fate, even if it's a lot of money? Why would I ever let somebody be able to take a platform from me? I think that everybody, and this is my philosophy, even when it comes to after hours, right? After hours is Anton Daniels owned. I encourage everybody on after hours, if they want to branch out or if they want to do a lot more work, because it's a lot of work, and I would support them, I would celebrate them to start your own platform. It doesn't mean that you can't be a part of what we got going on after hours. Let's rock out. But everything that I have, I created, I own 100%. I will pay people to be a part of what I got going on if they add value for an extended period of time. Whatever the deal is, it's going to be the deal. But one thing that I never prevent people from doing is being able to do their own thing. And more importantly, I encourage it. But my biggest thing is ownership. It's always been about ownership. It's always been about ownership. Ownership for me is more important than the money. Especially if you're already making a decent amount of money. Never give anybody control over your stuff to where you don't control what happens. And never let a company or a person or let anybody be able to kick you out of your own company. That's the first thing that I learned when I was studying Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs brought in the former Coca-Cola / Pepsi CEO or whatever he was, and then he let them run him out of his own company because he didn't control 100% of the board. It's the first thing that I learned when it came to the Ford family. The Ford family maintains at least 51% ownership of the company or 51% voting rights of the company because they are the ones that's going to control the name of their great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, right? Whatever, for me, it's got to be 100%, right? But my point is always, and this is just what I push to people, you can't do what you want to do when you under somebody else's thumb. They can kick you out. They can determine, hey, man, we don't like you no more. Hey, we going in a different direction, whatever, so on and so forth. Whatever you got going on. I even see some of these channels. I remember, I don't know if y'all remember, this is OG right here. I remember De'Ara and Ken. And the reason that I remember De'Ara and Ken is because my daughter actually liked them and she used to watch their YouTube channel, right? And I remember she wanted to see him in person and all of that stuff, right? And they started this YouTube channel together and they started this journey together until they started getting divided and they grew up and they didn't like each other anymore and all of this stuff. Who get the channel? Who get the channel? Now you got to go into a fight. Now you got to go into a thing and all of this stuff. Man, heck no. Pat Bev sitting there doing this. This is the oldest thing in the book. I mean, if you really want to go there, we can make the argument that part of the reason why some of these people are so angry about me that whose channels is really just Anton Daniels fan pages is because I'm no longer rocking with them. So what would have happened if I would have been a partner with them in something? You know how messy that would have been? You know how crazy that would have been? Imagine I was brought in a partner, right? That I had a partnership in something with somebody that then became an AD fan page that don't necessarily care for me. The oldest thing in the book is, oh man, that's my homeboy. Oh man, that's my guy. That's my right-hand man. They'll never turn on me. They do it every day. They do it every day. And the same way that I tell y'all in these relationships to make sure that you got your business together is the same way that I'm gonna tell y'all to be in y'all to get yourself together when it comes to your content creation, your companies, whatever it is that you got going on. Make sure you keep your business straight because at the end of the day, people change. And it ain't just the guys, it could be the women. People change. Every day, people get a new recent nude of whatever or whatever they want to do. And this is I don't have no beef with nobody, none of that type of stuff. I'm keeping it 100% though. I'm talking about it from a business perspective. Tomorrow, they can have an epiphany and say, you know what? Nah. Slimmy hit me yesterday morning. Anton, what we gonna do about frame fights tonight? Because Miss Sanchez is stuck at the airport. Work. We still doing a show. If it's me by myself, the show goes on. If it's me by myself, the show goes on. We don't change. We don't switch up. We don't make adjustments. We do whatever it is that we do. We're going to keep working. You know why? Because that is what my brand is. That is what my motto is. We have to move unless I'm deathly ill or I'm on a plane somewhere coming from a different country. We work. We work. People got to go. People have to take vacations. People have family events. They have life events. They got all kind of stuff going on. Guess what we do? We work. So this is a lesson for Pat Bev. I know it probably hurt because he felt like they built that channel together and they had 278, 290, whatever subscribers that they have. But bro, you can get that back. You just gotta. I've always believed. Like I'll give you an example. When me and JR from the Peef, that was supposed to be a 50-50 partnership, right? Thankfully for me, I already had motion way before we got that popping. So we started the YouTube channel together. He created the Facebook channel, and that's how it started off. So we originally was streaming on Facebook. And I got it popping, and I was like, yo, Facebook ain't where the money is. The money is over here on YouTube, because I'm already on YouTube. And I was already popping off on the Anton Daniels channel. I think I might have had like 70,000 subscribers or something like that on the Anton Daniels channel. So I already had motion, right? I was already moving. It might have been even 80,000 or something like that. Whatever it was under 100,000 subscribers that I had on the Anton Daniels channel. And so I was like, I could leverage my visibility in order to create some motion on YouTube, and then we can get it popping. So it was supposed to be a 50-50 thing, right? Whatever happened, and no shade to him. God bless him. I hope that he's doing well. I hope that everything I'm just telling you the lesson, right? Whatever happened between us, I made the determination, because I had 2 channels at that point. Actually, I had 3 channels. I had Fight Club. I had just really started Fight Club. I had this channel, The Millionaire Morning Show, which it was under 100,000 subscribers at the time, I think. And I had the Anton Daniels channel. And so whatever was happening, I was putting in an extreme amount of hours just to push that channel, just to push it or whatever. So whatever happened between us when we decided to go our separate ways, I was cool. Like I never fought. I never did none of that. I was cool with walking away completely. And I was like, all right, cool. You got it. Do your thing. I'm going to do my own thing. And so I started putting everything I had into the Anton Daniels channel. Here we are, 1.3 million subscribers later on the Anton Daniels channel, 430,000 subscribers later on the Millionaire Morning Show, 100,000, 101, 102,000 subscribers later on the Anton Daniels channel, on After Hours, 58,000 subscribers on the Darth Anton channel, 1.9 million subscribers combined on the YouTube channels alone. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it no matter what, and I'm going to own 100% of myself. I could have went back and forth. I could have said, nah, this is my, but I don't care, because I'm going to own 100% of myself. But what it told me was to always have my own personal business together. I don't care if I go on another platform, I was still going to do content and stream over here on my own stuff. I don't care if I show up on there, I'm still going to do content and stream on my own stuff. So if you want motion and if you want to do something, you're going to have to get it on your own, out the mud on your own. And if you that good, then you should be able to create it. You should be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You should be able to get to it. So that's all I'm saying. Let me see if Pat Bev got anything else to add into here before I get up out of here.
But that's a whole nother story. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm not with on the pod right now on Hooping and Hollering. But it's no, let me get this clear so everybody understands. There's no beef, no shade, no anything. I just know like I'm gonna get asked this question, so I'm gonna just answer it right off the top. Like this is what was told to me, right? Even though we have a contract, right? I don't know if you feel me. If I didn't like a teammate, I just couldn't stop working with the teammate because I didn't like the teammate. Again, that's not how it works contractual wise. So yeah, man, we're just trying to find a way to kind of navigate through all this right now. So that's the vibes with the pod and Hooping and Hollering. And it's no beef. Like Ron, I tell Ron, like, come on, dog, like you already know the vibes with me. It ain't never no beef. You feel me? Like, what you mean? It was Pat Bev, pod with Ron. What you mean? Like, it can never be beef. You know, so like, shout out to those guys. It's always love. Y'all subscribe to those guys too, Hooping and Hollering. All the people from Hooping and Hollering, y'all subscribe to my YouTube because I'm putting everything out on my platform. So, and that's the vibes.
All right, cool. So yeah, be independent, take care of your business, don't be dependent on nobody else, and get to the bag. That was a very, very, very a lot of these content creators, they got work to do, in my opinion, personally. Let me read some of these super chats. No, I didn't get those J tickets. I don't know if I'm gonna go to that, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. TS Carl, I paid $2K for my J tickets. I got them early great seats. We'll see you at the Rick Ross show. AD, you know he fought to not get this release. You talking about the Justin Timberlake. Tamira is mini Anton. Just know that, says King DJ Tricks. Julian says, new number. I don't have your number from the last time I saw you. All right. I think I got your DM. I think you DM me too. All right. TS Car Washing Detail Service says, AD, you saw the game pickup line you've been using for 10 years. Check it out. It's funny. I'm going to have to check it out. Sir, only check superiors privately. That's Bible. That's biblical. Shout out to Me University. Been telling banter and barter crew for weeks about these rich aunties of masculinity. Cam sits like that too. Men are supposed to be ankle on knee. There's a lot of precipitation in that knee to knee. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Joe Budden and Ack and you are top tier. Shout out to TS Car Wash. Says, I view the channel off of consistency. Why people don't just stay independent like you, Ack Joe Nightcap? Because people want the money. They want the money. They want that upfront bag. They want the. Why do rappers take advances? Even after they get rich and they do a new deal, they take another advance. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Shout out to P. Vincent. I like that. I like what you got going on over there. Pretty teeth. Hi, Anton. Please touch upon the importance of mastering your education, public speaking, history, law and business basics before starting a podcast, because some podcasters are lacking it in the show. Well, you're gonna see it. Listen, my goal is not to get anybody outside of the bag chasers any game. So whatever people get, they get. But when we get in the bag chasers and I do the content creators mastermind, I'm gonna give you the game. But a lot of people, they don't know the business side of it. They don't know public speaking. They think that they could just start up a channel, and because I can't tell you how many people or how many women or how many guys I run into and they say, man, put me on, man. I'm good. All right, big dog, I got you. Jason Williams looks, oh, yeah, he did look a little old. I ain't gonna cap. The King DJ Trick says, did you hear about SMCI stock? Almost bought it. Then the news came out the CEO was smuggling NVIDIA chips to China, and it dropped to like $10. King DJ Trick says, no, I mean, she's mine, Anton. Tamara from room. Oh, she's mine. She's yours. You want her? Oh my gosh. What up, Lex? I see you. All right, y'all. I gotta go. I got business to take care of. I got a lot to do today. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. See y'all at the same time tomorrow. We out. Peace.